Oh, hey, guess what? OBS is doing a thing. Hold on real quick.
Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 3, Episode 18, Shade of a Memory. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Khan, the Bloody Rizzolo.
Always great to be here.
Shane as Umbromancer Zavid.
I'm listening to electronica trash!
Yes, and Elliot as Reese Guiltleaf, the Heartseeker.
I'm just doing it up today. It's okay, no technical difficulties happened.
Yet. As always, I'm Lumpy Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra was investigating the catacombs of Zifon Ra. While within a cavern beneath the floor, they heard the screams of their new goblin friends up above. Swarms of scorpions and a massive black scorpion had burst through the floor. With only seconds to spare, Zavid and Khan swooped in and ushered the goblins onto the back of Rot-Trot and out of harm's way. Seeing that the little ones were occupied, Gunnar Gunnarsson went into a draconic berserker rage and ran headlong into the big one. Hundreds of scorpions were smashed and eaten by the sum of Zavid's magics. A wall of gnawing mouths and crushing feet of a skeletal Tyrannosaurus made sure of that. Khan meant to collect intact samples of the stinging venom, but may have gone overboard with the alchemist's fire. Reese, with his newly awakened elemental powers, burned away the straggling scorpions, pinching at the heels of the goblins as Rot-Trot flew them to safety. Gunnar managed to hold his own against the huge scorpion until it became clear he could see Valhalla upon the horizon. Using the magic of Cabriri, Zavid leapt onto the back of the giant arachnid, distracting it just long enough for Madame Guillotine to lower her long spear into a galloping charge atop her hyena shorty. Driving the spear deep within the scorpion, severing its stinging tail, the rest of the venomous creatures began to scatter. With their new friends safe, Lux Et Umbra retired to the Windseeker, the airship of Reese's sister Adelina. Great progress is being made on its refurbishment. The following morning, Lux Et Umbra delved back down to the treasure room, as there was more to be done. 3 statues of exceptional detail lie within the many beautiful jewels, coins, and trinkets. Using his divine magics and Anyanka's knowledge of the arcane, Zavid was able to bring the statues back to life with his stone-to-flesh spell. Each showed an immediate bond to Lux Et Umbra, a swarm of devil rats imprinting on Khan as their leader, a sully-blooded genie saber-toothed cat who found a mutual respect with Reese, and a fully grown ether spider that has agreed to take on the role of mentor to Zavid's baby ether spider Wisp. Their new menagerie in tow, Lux Et Umbra delved beneath the broken floor of Zifon Ra once more. A teleportation circle had been crafted in the cavern and blown up behind the creators so as to disguise where they had come from. Though, having briefly spent time in Zavid's body, Reese realized that perhaps more information could be gleaned by looking at the magic rune's shadow from within the plane of shadow itself. All signs point to the city of ghouls beneath the Kilik-Tura oasis. However, the Windseeker still needs repairs, and the floating island of Zifon Ra still needs exploring. In front of a large pyramid was a huge statue of Osiris, god of fertility and life. However, as Lux Et Umbra approached, a cavernous hole in the shape of the mouth opened up beneath their feet, swallowing up Zavid and Anyanka beneath the devouring sands. That's where we'll come back in just a moment. Before we divert back to our favorite Baba Yaga's hut, floating within the infinite void. The last 2 weeks, you have been given a choice of between 12 cards of deific importance. First was Eldritch. you had picked the Shaolin card, giving each of you the ability to change a natural 1 into a regular success, a critical failure to a success. Elliot, last session, chose the Cabriri card, the god of Zavids, which will eventually give them the ability to meld within his shadows. But today is where we come in with Shane.
My boy, it is wonderful to see you.
It's wonderful to see you as well, Baba Yaga.
Yes. Your adventures are extremely entertaining for me. So go ahead. Choose your card. Flip over what you would like.
Well, I might have picked Cabreri, but that was picked for me. And
Yes. An interesting choice on Elliot's part.
yes, and Elliot's god is Bastet, and I think it would be funny if I picked Bastet. But let's make it so we all have to wrong each other and pick each other's god. And I'm gonna pick
Very
Lux.
fair.
Ah, intriguing. Grandmother Rat. Very well. And she reaches her massive hand down to the rat card, which you can see there, the six-legged green rat with red eyes, and she flips it over.
Strange folks hail from far and wide, regardless if they're on your side. Steal their voice for Lao Shu Po, upon you luck she will bestow.
At any point, any player may do an impression of any NPC. If I, the DM, can guess who it is, you may add 10 to your roll. Any roll. Damage, d20, doesn't matter. Any roll. If you do an impression of an NPC and I can guess who it is, you get a 10 to that roll. And that's for all three of you.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So just remember, there is a huge list of NPCs on the Discord.
There is, and I have to think about specifically the one that I have the highest chance of. I think we should make it a rule: we can't all do the same NPC. We have to do
that's
that.
for sure. I agree
Yeah.
with that. So let me go ahead and give you all the Lao Shu Po card. There's the inventory. There we are. There's your grandmother rat card. Con, you get one too. Very fitting.
Also, our little face icons, mine is on cons or Eldridge's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can switch that easily enough. Inventory. There we go. Now I have given all three of you your Lao Shu Po cards. So, and that's at any point. You can decide to call it before you roll the thing. You can decide to call it after you see a roll of your result. At any time, you can say, I'm going to use the Lao Shu Po card. All right. So, from there, the mists once again envelop over Baba Yaga's hut, bringing us back to the shifting sands high atop the chained island that is attached to Zifon Ra. The sands swirl, and what Reese and Khan, you have just witnessed, is the ground beneath your feet has just opened up into this massive face-shaped hole beneath you. And Zavid on top of Rottrot and Anyanka on top of her skeletal elk, Dehofrin, have both gone straight down. And this is where we come in today with the two of you.
Excellent.
Reese,
So
do we go after them?
I don't know. Well, they're down that hole, so that's one thing. I was told never to something about a hole in a mouth in a gift horse or something at one point in time. I don't know. My dad speaks in riddles. Let's go through the entrances first, and if that's hopeless and we can't find them there, then we're gonna jump through that hole.
Okay, this sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to live too recklessly, but there's just some limits I have sometimes.
How are you approaching the door? And again, if you click yourself and then control click your mount, you can move both at the same time, as a reminder.
Okay, perfect. Control click for that.
Click, control click.
Okay, so click myself or click the Suli Blooded.
You, I think, first.
Okay. Roll click. It's okay. Grandpa got this. Control click. Nope.
Maybe? Guess not. Okay. Well,
No.
It's okay.
is it shift? Might be shift.
Okay.
Regardless. So if you're walking forward, how are you approaching this? How specifically are you doing this?
Honestly, if I could put the stealth thing up and have that alongside Khan so like we don't trip anything
Sure.
else.
Reese have the ability quick sneak, so that means that the both of you can sneak at your normal movement speed instead of
Nice.
half.
Yep.
So the trade-off there, Con, is that you have to use Reese's stealth check if
Okay.
you want to use that. So
Gotcha.
Reese can use stealth in the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only trade-off there. Is even though your stealth is a little better, if you want to move at full
Yeah,
speed.
what are your stealth
25
abilities?
is what mine is at.
Great question. Con's
What's-
is at 25. Actually, they're the same.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
they're
cool.
the same. Okay.
Good to know.
I was gonna say if hers is like 30, I'd be like, that's insane. That is an absolutely insane bonus.
Okay, so I know your stealth. So let's see here. Are you going to through the left door, right door, through the holes? How are you entering this place?
Hey Khan, so left door or right door?
Left door.
Okay. Okay, let's yeah.
Okay.
And let me just
Sure. I don't know why that isn't working.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, you managed to walk over there. No additional holes open up, thankfully. And you are moving very quickly at quite a clip, but you're also trying your best to stay as quiet as possible. And that's where I'm going to switch over to our other map. Zavid, you begin to fall. You are on top of your Mount Rot Trot, but you very much did not say you were casting your 6th level summon / spirit mount, whatever
I
you're.
did not.
Yeah,
I think mid-air would detach myself like off of my Mount Trot, and I'm gonna rely on a feat that I've had for a while.
Okay.
That since level 6, I've had the feat Catfall. And according to Catfall, your cat-like aerial acrobatics allow you to cushion your falls. Treat falls as 10 feet shorter, but if you're an expert in acrobatics, you treat falls as 25 feet shorter. And it looks like I am an expert in acrobatics.
That's great. 25 feet shorter. So that makes this a 60-foot drop. So if I'm not mistaken, that is 6d6 fall damage, correct?
I'm alright with
Fine.
that, yeah.
Yeah. And Anyanka does not get that. So she gets an extra little bit.
I tell
6.
her, just collapse into bones! Disperse the damage throughout your whole body!
Hopefully I can make the Huffrin break my fall and not my neck.
So you, Zavid, take 18 bludgeoning damage as you smash into the ground.
I turn into a gooey puddle.
Yeah,
onto the ground.
it's like a Ziploc bag filled with like pancake batter dropped off of a building.
You've ever seen those TikToks of people have like little Stretch Armstrong type things? They throw them downstairs and they just flatten.
Exactly.
That's what I've done.
All right, and then Yonka takes an additional 7, so she has 25. And Zavid, you took 18. There, I gave you that damage. So, as you hit the ground, Rot Trot landing next to you with a sickening splat. Next, a few feet to your right, you hear a loud clattering of as a big pile of bones smashes next to you. And as you kind of shake your head from this massive fall, you start to look around. You see that there are braziers in here lighting the whole room. There are stone stairs, a stone exitway, paintings and murals on the walls and floor. I actually have a description of this room. Hold on. Right, I have a written thing. There it is. A vast chamber lies open before you, built of carved sandstone. There is a large dug-out pit with 2 sets of stairs leading down to it. Upon the floor is a tile mosaic of a cow-headed figure beneath a circular indentation with a split down the middle. Golden braziers light the chamber with a magical glow. Central to the chamber is a massive carved statue of Pharaoh holding his hands in a bowl shape upon his knees. framing the seated figure are mosaics of two nearly identical women crafted in fine, precious stones and ceramic. This is what you see.
Ow!
You see a bone reach out of the pile and starts rubbing a skull.
I know what you mean. That was a Lulu. You alright there, Zavid?
I'm gonna turn on some reverb for this chamber. Yeah, I'm okay. Ow. I think I broke my leg, but I can bend my bone back into place, so hold on. Okay, alright. Maybe I need a little... Hold on. And I'm gonna basically... 18's not that much, so I think he's just really sore. Bruised up, battered, but not like... He'll be able to walk.
You kind of squish your parts, your organs back into their place. And as you're doing that on Yanka's, her arm is slowly picking up bones and sticking them in the correct spaces. It takes a few minutes. And
I offer, I'm like, I know it's really personal. And you probably, that might be a little bit too personal for help. But if you need help, I know what bones go where.
I wouldn't say no to that. I think that would be pretty great, actually.
I'll start with stuff like arms and legs, and you can do like torso and that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. I really appreciate that.
So if you want to throw me a medicine check publicly.
Yeah, I'll get her one of her arms put together so she can start putting her torso together.
Great.
Oh, sorry.
Perfect. No, I said public. That's a huge crit. So I should have had this pulled up. Medicine. And you are an expert, correct?
I am an expert. I forgot I went to necromancy medical school.
It's because of that book. The book that you got from the Cogito Machinus. So that is 2d8 plus... critical is 4d8 plus 10, because it's a DC 20, and you get a 41.
Hell yeah. 4d8.
So yeah, 48 plus 10.
So I just roll that to heal her?
Yep, throw that publicly.
Whoa, that's sick.
Cool, that was good. 31, wow, you bring her to full health. So, in quick order, again, like you said, you know where bones go. You're very good at this. You're a necromancer by class, So, very quickly, you and Anyanka are able to get her bones back together, and she helps construct Dahafren.
I've got a thing of bone meal and stuff to help, this will help and blah blah blah. And I've got my own weird necromancy shit and some wraps and stuff like that, and just be don't put too much weight on this leg.
Okay, it takes about 10 minutes. So by that time, Reese and Khan, you have been able to walk down this long path. And I'm going to bring you back onto this map here. Thankfully, nothing attacks you in the left stairway.
Good.
Chose wisely. Do you see yourselves on the map now?
I'm always
yep.
right.
Okay. So yeah, you come down into precisely the chamber I described earlier. It's very vast. There's a cow-headed figure on the ground. There seems to be some kind of carved opening in the floor. There's a huge statue of a pharaoh framed by two mosaics of beautiful women who appear to be nearly identical.
And here comes the hip.
Oh, hey, yeah, that one smarts a little bit, but
Just
range of
wiggle
motion.
your toes. Tell me you can do that.
Yeah, I can do deep near rock
All
squats.
right.
Good to go. All right, it's range. Oh, Zavid, look, it's Con and Reese. They finally made it down. Hey, you took the long way. We found a shortcut.
Yeah, it looks like the shortcut did you real good, too.
I wave, and you guys see that one of my feet is turned completely in the opposite direction, and I haven't noticed yet because I've been focusing on helping Anyanka.
Hey, Savid, so I know some people say they have 2 left feet, but why do you have 2 right feet?
I look down. Oh, good eye. And I yow! I twist my leg back into the right spot.
Yeah, you can do a medicine check on yourself now. Because you critted on Yanka, so she's fine now. And for the record, nice.
So we'll treat this as a regular success, but I have to...
Yep, that's a regular success.
So I go to twist it, but I didn't realize it was twisted in the opposite direction, so I'm further twisting it.
Wait,
in doing
this triggers your card, the Shillin card.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's not one.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I'm describing my regular success by how badly I failed here. So I've gone further in the twisted direction, thinking that was the way to untwist it. And I instinctively, realizing I'm about to rip the tendons and ligaments of my flesh apart, I feel shadowy magic enter through my leg and completely immaterialize it to the point where it, like, there's no muscle, there's no bone, it's just shadow material. And as I twist it back into the right area, there's no resistance anymore. It's just, you see my leg is like this weird, shadowy, kind of immaterial thing, and then I'm like, I meant to do that. I take like, maybe like, just like a tool or something, like the butt of a dagger. I'm like trying to bash my leg into form again, and I'm like, ow, 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 and it hurts, but I'm able to get my leg to reform itself the way it's supposed to be, the way I remember it being.
Perfect.
Oh, that's better than.
That's one way to do it for sure.
I don't think I can do that on command. So I don't want to test that ability further. Let's just pretend I untwisted it the regular way.
Go ahead and roll your regular healing.
Yeah. What is that? Is that just...
It's for expert 2d8 plus 10.
Okay.
And Shellen, Lady of Chrysanthemums, I am removing that card from your inventory there. Shame.
One. All right. Hey, that's almost all my health back.
Yeah, so you have, there you go, I fixed it. You have 4 wounds, so it hurts. Like it's gonna smart for a little while, but it's pointing the correct direction now.
Hey, at least you're on the right foot now.
I think the only reason that worked was because I'm in such a gloomy place. Even though the map is very brightly lit, I imagine it's actually super dark in here.
Yeah, it's not quite as brightly lit as the map would have you think, because there are only 4 braziers in this whole entire cavernous room.
Yeah, there's like lens flares on this map and stuff.
Oh, and I figured out it is shift click to get both of your things, not
Oh,
control.
shift click.
It's
Okay.
shift. Control clicking makes something your target.
That makes sense.
Is Rot Trot able to move? I mean, he is a horse, so something like this would normally kill a horse. Like,
Rotrod is fully undead at this point and is essentially a zombie, so maybe a bone is sticking out, but you can kind of just reset it.
Put some tape around it.
Yeah, just put some tape
I
around
give it a little elbow, you know, like
elbow grease.
Okay, we're good, we're good. Very much like the Fonz trying to get the jukebox to work.
Perfect, exactly.
And I'll hop on. He just collapses.
Well, you definitely know how to reset a wound. That looked a little painful there, but that's all right. It's lame now.
It's a valuable skill, especially when the kind of clerical magic I have doesn't just automatically heal everything.
I've seen what you do. It seems a little more necromantic than healing. It makes me right as rain, but I don't know exactly how you deal with your teammates.
You get used to it. Feels weird though.
Out of game, it's one of the things I really love about Pathfinder is that you have to choose negative or positive, and then you're kind of stuck in those trajectories unless you do versatile. They don't do that in my game. I really wish they did.
Yeah,
Nice.
I agree. It should be more difficult to do both in D&D.
The hop on Rot Trot, I see Khan's on the fucking swarm of rats. Have they formed themselves into like a throne, and you're just kind of on a chair? Or like, how are you riding with them?
As though like, I think Khan is just kind of standing on them like a hoverboard, and they just kind of like keep perpetually moving.
You do a kickflip on your rats.
Yeah.
Watch me do the 6, 7, 20.
I can do an ollie. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Watch me ollie.
Hold on.
I'll out of this situation.
And then, Reese, are you riding atop your Suli-lipped Smilodon with the black fur and the red arcane runes that dance across its fur?
Yeah.
The runes with the fur. The whole club was looking at her.
And I guess as we're showing everyone else's mounts, I'll pull out a picture of Rotrot. There he is. Rotrot with his Batwing motif going on.
I think the bat wings helped glide him down. I think that's why he avoided most of the damage.
Probably,
Right.
get a little feather falling.
And then lastly,
Whose skulls are those? I don't know whose skulls I put on Rot Trot just for the. Maybe I
Somebody
did. Maybe it was.
deserved
It was the Phantom Steed spell. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
True.
and then lastly, on Yanka's mount, Dahofrin is a skeletal, one of those
That's a
extinct
moose, right?
Irish elk. It's an Irish elk.
Uh,
One of those like 11-foot tall. It's massive.
that's scary.
Yes.
So
Yanka
that's
is not only a witch,
big
she's a
up.
cavalier. Yeah. So Dahofrin is both her familiar and her animal companion.
Love it.
All right.
What do
So
you
there's
make of this place?
I want to look at this first of all. This like egg-shaped chamber with a
Okay.
seam down the center.
Give me crafting checks in the tower, anybody.
Crafting checks in the tower. You know it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I recently became a master at crafting.
Noise.
I just got trained.
Actually, I'm gonna chalk this up to Reese's experience in the deserts, even though it was 100% because of the rolls. Reese, you recognize that as a very common feature within some tombs in Assyrian. That definitely opens up as to reveal something.
Oh, yeah, that opens up, guys. So there's something that triggers it. You're luckily it wasn't open when you guys fell through. So there's that. But we should definitely take a look around the room and see how we can continue on with this and open up the gate on the bottom.
Maybe if we ask nicely?
Give me religion checks in the tower.
Religion in the tower.
Alright. Well, Zavid, you notice kind of right away that the cow-headed figure on the floor is Hathor. That is Ma'at's goddess. The mistress of jubilation, as she's called, goddess of the sky, music, joy. She's the daughter of Ra, and the sibling of Bastet and Sekhmet. Reese, you recognize the other three. The pharaoh sitting in the center is Osiris, just like on the outside of the temple. The Lord of the Living, god of death, the afterlife, and fertility, brother of Isis and Nephthys. The woman on the left that Zibidee is standing right under is Isis, queen of miracles, goddess of the sick and wounded, respect and mourning of the cherished dead, and the sister of Osiris and Nephthys. And the last one should not surprise you. The woman on the right is Nephthys, mistress of the mansion, goddess of the night, protector of the dead, and as Zavid recently discovered, she is actually a different name and form of Pharasma. It's the Osiriani interpretation of Pharasma.
Okay. Alright, so with that knowledge, and I can obviously see the hands open on Osiris and everything
That's right.
too.
He's holding nothing.
He's holding nothing, which is really striking Reese as pretty odd because usually the gods are holding something or they're being offered or whatever. Can I do a perception?
Absolutely. Throw that in the tower, please. Is there something specific you're looking for?
Anything that would, like, look like it could be palm-sized? Well, Osirian palm-sized?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Nothing that you can see here, which tells you that it might be under the floor, whatever is covering up that thing in the ground. Whatever goes in his hands is probably under there. You get the sense that the floor doesn't open when you put something in his hands. You put something in his hands after the floor.
That's what I was trying to figure out, honestly, so... Alright, well... Luckily, we don't have to put something in his hands. We do that afterwards, when the floor opens, because a thing that Osiris needs, probably underneath the thing that we're trying to open.
Okay. So to open this, though, that's the big question then.
Yeah.
I guess I'd look around to see if there's any clues in the art on the walls of like, is Isis and Pharasma here? Are they offering something to Osiris, or is it like?
That's an interesting question. Give me another religion check in the tower.
Yeah, I want to see if it's like indicating what we should do through the art.
Taking a long look, you get the sense that they are offering counsel. Like they're offering wisdom to him. They're not offering a gift per se. They are presenting him and presenting him with like wisdom.
It's gonna be all right. Everything's fine. You're doing a good job. And I look around. Does the floor open up?
What language do you say that in?
Oh shit. Hey, Reese, in ancient Osiriani, how do I say you're doing a good job and everything's all right?
Yeah, it's just good boy.
All right, yeah.
I'm kidding,
Well, the
but,
translation
like,
just
I just
sounds
translate it.
in common. It sounds like good boy.
Yeah, in common,
To
it's
say
like good
good boy.
And as you say this in ancient Assyriani, you do feel a rumble beneath the floor.
You're kidding.
No, you just needed to speak Assyriani into his ear. That's literally it. You figured it out like that. So, good
I was
job, Shay. You figured out
joking.
the puzzle
It
really
was
quick.
a bit.
And it
No,
was a
no,
bit
that
that I
was
was like,
literally
it
it.
sounds like good boy.
No, like you just literally needed to speak ancient Assyriani to him. That was it. Good job.
We commit to the bit and we did it.
Yeah. So, as the space in the floor begins to open, a pedestal rises up, but standing upon it is a massive golem made of pure obsidian.
Oh, that was
Everyone,
sweet.
please
Great.
roll initiative.
Oh, we have to get him to sit in the guy's hands. Get in his hands now. Golem's like, no, I don't want to.
You
Bad
can't
boy.
make me.
Well, let me take the three of you off of the combat tracker from
Yeah,
earlier.
and then I'll roll perception.
Oh
initiative.
boy. Reese ain't doing so hot this round. He used all of his good ones the last time.
Yeah, I don't think I can get away with stealth perception, right?
No, not
Yeah.
this time. Aniyanka gets it
Hmm.
too.
Whoa!
A natural 20 from
Wow, nat
Cod.
20, Con. Wonderful. So, Con, you were expecting danger. 100%. So that means you are the first to react, seeing this thing right next to you. And you know you've fought golems before. And actually, number one, because it hasn't attacked yet, and number two, you're flanking it with Anyanka, it is going to be flat-footed, so let me give it that to it. Pow pow. There you go. But you remember that there's lots of weird stuff about golems. Whether or not Khan actually remembers is a different story.
Khan sees only blood. I'm gonna tell the rats to swarm to attack.
Okay, so that's a
Start-
single action, which gives them two actions. Alright, so I should Devil Rat Swarm. There we go. I'll put them on your initiative as well. There we go. So you move them to here and make them do their swarm attack. So that's a 30 reflex save on this guy. So I need to make it take a reflex save.
Get ready for the bubonic plague, bucko.
37, so it succeeds, but not critically. So it's going to take 2d6 piercing. But unfortunately, it has resistance. So you see the rats swarming up and biting at it, but their teeth are clanking. King, 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 king. They don't seem to be really making any purchase.
Guess I have to do everything myself. Then I guess action to close distance.
Huh?
Wait, no. Unlink the rats.
Oh, there you go. Try now.
Yeah. Action to get close. Action to stab, and that'll be my turn.
Great. Where'd the attack go? I don't see it.
Yeah.
Ah, there it goes.
Oh, there it is. Oh my god.
way!
Oh,
So what do you look at the rats and be like, this is how it's done?
Mm-hmm.
But
See,
squeak,
these are-
squeak, squeakity.
These are the joints that you have to get into.
Oh my god.
You go for the elbows.
Oh, the damage, I gotta
Yeah,
see
seriously.
this.
I can't wait to see that.
Two 20s in a row. That's pretty
Yeah, that's
wild.
pretty great.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. Okay, so 44 of that got through. So you can now see it clearly has 15 resistance to physical damage. You can just see that right there. But yeah, good job, Khan. That is the end of your turn. Good lord. Death Rat. Okay, that makes it the Golem. So, since you were the first one to attack it, and you critted it, it's going to look directly at you, Khan. So,
Bring it on! Bring it on!
yes, let's see.
From the Bronx, bring it
Okay.
on!
So it is
Yeah.
going
He
to
ain't afraid of
pull back
you.
its massive fist with these razor sharp feathers on it and punch down at you with a critical.
Ooh.
This is
Oh.
going to hurt a lot. So you take 89 damage.
Oh god.
And in addition, your armor becomes broken as it shreds your non-adamantine armor.
Oh
So
no!
Khan, your AC is now reduced by 2.
Yikes. Zoinks.
-2. Great. It's not ruined, but yeah, your armor is now broken.
Yeah. I'd have to
Okay.
like spend time fixing it, I
That's
assume.
right. Yes.
Okay.
And then it is going to swing around at Anyanka to do the same thing with a fist. Yikes, that was high. Not a crit, though. That's good. So Anyanka gets a bunch of damage, but she does not get her armor broken, just like Khan. Takes 36 damage from a direct punch, slice from the thing, making it Anyanka's turn. Okay, so first things first, she's going to do a check to see what she knows about these things. So, Anyanka's going to roll occultism to see what she knows about golems. Got it. Okay. Y'all brought the... now that she rolled that high, I'll tell you, y'all just chose the right NPC to bring to this one. She's going to yell out, "These are immune to almost all magics. Only sonic damage can hurt them, particularly this." And she goes, "Dahofren, shatter!" And she casts a 6th level shatter on this thing.
Oh.
So that's going to do an automatic crit. She rolled a nat 20 on her knowledge check. So she does 62 damage automatically. But since this thing has a vulnerability specifically to shatter, it is also going to take another 8d10 sonic damage. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Anyanka,
8.
holy shit!
So
She's in her
62 plus
element.
39. So that's going to be 101 damage.
Girl boss! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
So
How can I
3 plus 8.
compete?
So that's...
There's no competition. It's okay.
No competition.
Mason.
Why did that not... Oh, oops, I accidentally dropped that damage on Dahofren. That was my bad. I'll fix that. So it's 101. So that's 145. There we go. Wow, that made this thing go below bloody. It's already bloody with just
Holy
that.
shit.
But that took her whole round, her whole thing. Dahofren can't move. At this point, however, give me perception checks, everyone in the tower.
Alright.
Okay. All done. Oh, I will
Perception
do it
check.
as I pet this cat.
Hmm.
Hello, Mason. Can I do this, baby?
Of course not.
Feels.
The Tower of Power.
Into the tower.
All right, Zavid, you're the first to notice. Yeah, because you're standing up on the statue. That the statue beneath your feet starts to vibrate as everything around you begins, as sand begins to pour in from atop everywhere in this place. You may see it down at the bottom. Sand is pouring in from the ceiling because you suddenly remember there's a giant hole above you.
Ah,
So sand has
yes.
begun spilling into the place you're standing, and in addition, swarms of scarabs have begun to appear in all of the exits. There and there. So this first one sees you, Zavid, and it is going to go towards you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it takes off and flies 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 into here, and then uses swarming bites. I need you to make a DC 25 reflex save, Zavid.
Okay.
.33, that is a regular success, so you're going to take half of this. You take 11 damage. Can you give yourself that, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, next thing of scarabs. They are going to try and help their master. They're going to fly down to 30, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. And then again, Khan, I need you to make a 25 reflex save. As
awesome.
these scarab beetles are aggressively biting at you.
Ooh, that's almost
36.
another 20.
That
was
one
so
was
close.
that one was a critical success though. So you managed to, because you're on your little rat skateboard, you just managed to dive out of the way by having them maneuver you to the other side of the rat swarm. That's the end of that one. Number 3, these fly in 5, 10, 15, 20, and they do the same thing to Anyanka and to Hoffren. So they need to both make.
Reese, one of these days we'll have a turn.
Yeah, Reese, eventually we'll
them.
get to your turn. Critical save, critical save. Okay. Zavid, you're up. Yeah, damn, Reese, you were really bad in your initiative.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it is me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Zavid, you're up.
I was like, one of these days, and then the minute I said that, all right. They're just scarabs. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, so what? You're scarabs. I'm gonna remove myself from the scarabs.
And that is an interesting thought you suddenly realize, that scarabs don't usually attack living creatures. They're scavengers. They usually eat dead things, rotting things. It's kind of strange that they would be this aggressive to you.
I get in the hands.
Nice.
And I'm gonna. Khan got smacked, so
Alright.
I'm gonna help Khan with the soothe, because that doesn't require me to use any extra actions. Soothe is going to do. I think.
Actually, the movement could have just been Rot Trot, because Rot Trot gets one action without you commanding it.
Oh shit! You're right. Do
So
I
you
have
can
to
still have your
touch?
3 actions.
I think I'm gonna do Undeath's Blessing then instead, as 1 action and then a 2-action harm, and that's gonna be. Let me see here. You're gonna. I think you're just gonna go up the full. I think rolling is a formality at this point because of how
Basically.
much. But it's a 7th level, 70-10 plus 70 or something crazy like that. So I think you're just
Minimum
good.
would fill her. I'll just give her full.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the number, go ahead and roll it. But
No,
yeah, Con,
it's
you are
fine.
healed to full.
I'm just gonna. So you know, Zavid's weird inverse healing magic happens to you, and you get this sort of rush of necromantic energy that's repairing your wounds.
Woo.
And that's my
They
turn.
always leave a scar, however. Okay, Reese, you are finally up.
Yay, it's my turn.
And
Yeah,
your
my turn.
your animal can take 1 action without your input, or if you use a single action, it can have 2.
Okay. So, he's already flat-footed, right?
Oh, the golem? Yes.
Alright, perfect. Great. I've had all of this time. I've thought about it. I want the, Smoly Blood Tiger to do sneak attack.
Oh, over on the big guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll have to move yourself. Or, yeah, you'll have to basically command it once to move, and then it'll attack. So, yeah, go ahead and move yourself wherever you want. Great. And then your tiger... Fangs or claw?
Let's do claws.
Claws. All right. Natural 12. That's a hit, actually.
Hey.
Yeah, it did 24 damage total. It resisted 15, so 9 of that damage did go through.
Cool. And then, can it do
So
any
you have
other
two
action?
actions.
Can it do another action?
You could. I'm
Can I
not sure.
command
Shane,
it
do you
to-
know if can you command them more than once? I don't remember. I don't think you can command your animal companion more than once, can you?
You give one command and they get 2 actions. That's the minion trait.
Yeah, and you can't give another action to give
no,
them.
no,
Yeah, I
it's a
didn't think
one-
so.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
it's
already
one and
gave
done.
2 for them.
Yeah, so you have 2 actions left.
Alright, so for my action, since we're right up there too, I'm just gonna go and take my greater sword of striking and just like phew, into it.
Are you doing your flurry?
Yes.
Good, because this thing has resistance, and your flurry will help with that.
Good. Yeah.
So roll twice to see if you hit.
Oops, I accidentally popped that. And rolling twice. Oop.
That's definitely a miss. And also, yeah, you strike out with your daggers, and this thing is made out of adamantium. Your daggers just cannot make purchase with this thing. That's the end of your round. Bringing it to the scarab that was just about to attack you, but it's going to fly in. 30, 30. Oh, well, it can't quite attack you there, Reese, but they're attempting to swarm you, but they don't have the action economy to actually physically damage you yet.
Good.
This one, however, might.
Yeah.
Whoop, not that one. This one. 35, 10, 25, 30. And actually, no, it can't quite. So, Reese, I need you to make a DC, what did I say, 30? 25 reflex save.
I'll be fine.
Probably. 34, not quite a crit, so you take half damage. You take 5 damage, so I'll give you that, Reese. As these things start nipping at your heels. End of the round, top of the round, you notice that the sand begins to dump in faster as piles of it start to mound up at your feet. Khan, you are officially in difficult terrain due to your size. So it's your turn though.
Alright. I'm going to break out the spell you recommended. Warding Aggression.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
delicious. It's just all marshals should have warding aggression. Do you want to tell your friends what that one does? It's fun.
How about let's see if it
If
does
works?
good stuff
Okay,
or not.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so
So I make a melee strike with a weapon
mhm,
or unarmed attack. In addition to
Yes.
the normal effects, it has other effects.
that's right. So go ahead and
and
roll a
so-
regular attack.
Yeah. So the attack plus the effects are 2 actions combined, correct? Because it takes 2 actions
yeah.
to cast the spell.
Yes, that's right. It's 2
All right.
total all day.
All right, cool.
The strike is
Uh,
part of the spell.
Big money, no whammies.
And you do have a hero. Oh, that's decent. 16 is decent.
Mhm.
I wouldn't waste a hero point trying to get higher.
Yeah.
So on a regular success, you gain a +2 status bonus to AC against this foe. Since the scarabs all do reflex save, not AC damage, I'm just going to give you a +2 to your AC for the rest of this fight.
Yay!
You had a -2 to your AC, so I'm just going to get rid of that.
Hmm.
So you now no longer have a penalty to your AC,
Yeah.
which is great. So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
Yes, here we go.
Why did you have a -2 to your AC? Oh, because
because
it broke your armor. That's right. So you cast a spell that is undoing the effect that it shredded your armor. What does it look like when you cast this? 22 damage.
I like to think that the blood from the injury, just kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Coagulates around Khan's injuries, bolstering her.
I like that. That's very cool. Also, I just remembered you'd get your debilitation.
That's
you hit a
right.
flat-footed target. I forgot last round. And you do know that golems don't have blood.
Which is just such a sad thing, really.
Mm-hmm.
And Anyanka's is Anyanka still flanking?
Yes.
Or Okay, awesome. Then target takes an additional 2d6 precision damage from my attacks. That is the
Great.
debilitation I've just plat applying. So
2d6, so go ahead and roll that in the chat.
yeah,
6, all right.
that gets added onto the total.
Cool, I just dropped that on there. It's looking bad.
And then
it's-
I'm going to use my third action to stab again.
Okay, set your penalty.
Yes.
Okay,
That's a miss.
However, your rats do get one attack because they are an
Angry.
advanced creature. So they're going to do swarming bites on the dude.
Yeah.
And, you know, he gets a reflex save, and his save is really high, so he's probably going to pass, but we'll see. Is it 25? It's a regular save, so he takes half, so let's see. 46. Half of that is 4. So... Okay, so they actually... Oh, wait, no, they... that's right, because he has resistance. So, again, they're biting, and you can see they should be doing damage. If this thing were made out of not adamantium, they would definitely be hurting this thing.
Mm-hmm. If this thing were made of meat, it would be in pieces by now.
And as all of the sand in this area begins to build up, you start to see it whirling over near the door. Can you see kind of where I'm spinning it in the southeast? There's
yes.
Yeah, spinning sand guy. Yeah, that is a whirlwind of sand. So you're aware. And they begin to appear all around this area. As the sand is gathering and whipping around, you see more and more of these whirlwinds. However, none of you were touching them when they appeared, which is quite good for you. But it is this golem's turn, and it can't believe what just happened with Anyanka. So it's going to turn around, and it's going out for blood. Fist directly to Anyanka's face. That's going to be a critical. Wonderful. Lots of damage. Oof. Several bones explode out of the back of Anyanka and scatter against the walls behind her as this thing just puts a huge fist into her, and it also breaks her armor, so she gets a -2 to her AC.
Literally, she's just missing bones. They
She's
got
literally just
powderized.
missing bones, yes. And it's going to just go for broke on Anyanka because of what she did to it with that spell. Natural 16, goddamn. Yeah, Anyanka's going to get her butt kicked right now. It's an additional 53 damage. No, 53 ignored. Why did that go on? Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to let it happen. I accidentally rolled. Oh, no, that actually takes Anyanka out. She's unconscious now. Then with its third attack, it's going to try to punch Dahafran, Come on, there it is. The mouse.
Anyanka, no! She's getting lost in the sand!
Natural 20 on Dahafran. Yikes.
I've always
Hey,
wanted to be an archaeologist.
What do you got against your own NPCs, man?
Yeah, she did a lot of damage against it. So, that's the end of... Anyanka's unconscious. She needs to make a death save. And she's a dying 1 now because she failed it.
Is it an undeath save?
True, an undeath save. Actually, that's a good point. She's just unconscious. But the Hoffren
I was
is
just doing a
going to
bit.
Oh, that's a good point. The Hoffren is going to take a single attack against this thing because the Hoffren doesn't go away when she passes out. That's missed.
So Hoffren's an independent prehistoric elk.
Don't need
Don't
no
need no witch.
person.
So then these scarabs are going to come down and try to attack Zavid. I need you to make a 25 reflex save, please, as you are getting bitten by a bunch of these nasty scarabs. Ooh, nat 1. Gonna take it?
I'll use the hero point. I don't want
Okay.
to take too much damage.
Cool.
I mean, you know, that's it.
It's still a success. You're gonna take half damage.
Oh,
it went
shit.
It went from a critical failure to a success, so you'll take 6. If you can give yourself that, please.
All right, 6 damage,
Yep.
eh?
And
Okay.
Con, you are getting bitten as well. Can I get a reflex save from you? As
You betcha.
more and more of these scarabs are swarming up on you.
Oh, they're so close.
30, that's still a success, so you're gonna take half damage.
So just don't get a nat 1. That's what
Yeah,
we're
just
saying.
basically
Do
just
not
don't
get a
get a
nat
nat
1
one.
and you're good.
Yeah, Con, you take 5. Can you give yourself that, please?
Yes.
Then these beetles are moving over to Reese. Reese, I need a reflex save, please.
Okay.
25.
Oh, I did it in the tower. Shit.
That's fine. You critically succeed, so you take no damage. You got a 38.
Awesome.
Now, Zavid, you're up. It's up to your turn. The
Alright.
golem looks bad, but Onyanka just got knocked the F out.
Yeah, I saw that. So, when she talked about the golem, she said it's immune to most forms of magic, but is it immune to negative damage?
That's a good question.
Or is it
I think it
resisted?
is.
Does
I
it have
think it's immune. Yeah,
Is
let
it?
me look. There's one type of damage that will. Let me look. Sonic will hurt it. If you even do 1 point of sonic damage, it will take 8d10 of extra damage. 2d10 if it's area or persistent. It is healed by cold damage and slowed by fire. It won't take any damage from fire spells, but it'll be slowed by it. And it's
Okay.
specifically vulnerable to the shatter spell.
Yeah, I don't have access to that stuff, or I didn't prepare it if I do. So I'm just trying to make sure that my allies stay alive. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Rot Trot move forward. Oh, there we go. Move forward a little bit.
Mhm.
Kind of slide down here. Reese, you have Blessing of Undeath.
Yep.
As a 1 action. And then using my new feat from level 14, Fast Channel, I'm going to do a 3-action harm. And using my meta magic feat, Directed Channel, instead of doing a wide burst, I'm going to do a cone. A concentrated cone that reaches 60 feet and hits essentially everybody here. I might have Rot Trot move a little bit back in order for that to work. So everybody that doesn't have
In
Undeath's
that-
Blessing or isn't an undead has to make a a fortitude save. So I would like to
That's
heal
great.
all my friends and hurt all my enemies if I could do that.
That's amazing. Okay, so attack. Let's see. So I have the scarabs all targeted for you now. So let's go to your. You have that attack on your, or that spell on your sheet.
Yeah. One sec. Harm level 7.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything in here.
Okay. 1 second. I can add that. What is the? How much is it? How much will it do? Because I can.
It should deal 7d10 plus 7 damage on a
7d10.
failure.
Okay.
Half as much on a success, none on a crit success, but double on a
4,
crit
5,
fail.
6, 7. Negative. Only plus 10.
It's plus 7.
7. Okay, there we go. So
Yeah.
7d10 plus that, and then it needs a roll, right? It's a fortitude save.
It is a fort save for each of these swarms. Yes.
All right, perfect. So make them take. There we go. I got it working. So 1 critical success, 1 success, 2 crit successes, 2 crit regular successes. So 2 take half damage. There we go. 23 and 23 to the ones that you got half damage on. That's pretty good.
As for everybody else,
And yeah, now I have targeted your friend.
Con, you should just be back at full if you weren't already
Yay!
there. Reese, did you take any damage?
5 damage.
You're not anymore.
Woo!
And Anyanka, this is the important one. I should roll for this one. She does not have Undeath's Blessing. She's not getting the plus 2, but she is getting the 8 times 7. What is 8 times 7?
56.
56. So plus 56. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, no. Wait a minute. She is not getting that because this was the directed channel, not
right.
a 2 action.
Not the 2 action.
So, but that's okay. She's still getting all of this.
Good lord. All right.
That's a really high roll. Yeah, she gets 51 hit points back, and Dehofrin gets. Oops. I accidentally went a little bit more than I should have on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Dehofrin's gonna get 57 back. Holy
All right.
shit!
Good lord.
Ooh.
Yeah, you healed the shit out of them. So On Yanka's bones, they all zoom back together. The powder from the obsidian golem's fists, again acting as a mortar for fixing these bones into place, and her eye sockets blink like Jack Skellington, and she says, "Thanks, Zavid. We got this. Let's go."
Yeah, I do that. I guess my only question is the devil rat swarm and the Suli-blooded Smilodon are the only two I couldn't protect.
Yeah. Yep, they do need to make fortitude saves. So let's see, where are they? Suli-blooded, fortitude. Con, you're way high on initiative. There you are. Fortitude, and what's your DC, Zavid?
33?
They both got 38, so they both take half damage.
They take half of...
That was the 23, so I'll give them both that. 23.
Okay. All right.
And
I apologize to everyone. I'm like, sorry!
Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Amazing. So nothing there. Reese, you are now up.
Right, so the tiger just took that damage, is kind of like, the fuck? Kind of like, you hear those noises coming from it. But that's okay, because I just like, you know what, it's okay. Go pierce that armor. And Reese points over to the golem again.
Nice. Okay, so it needs to try to, let me see, pierce armor. If it makes a fang strike and it hits the creature, okay, there we go. So it needs to make a fang strike against this duder. At 19, that is very good. So fangs plus grab. If you use one of your actions, it can use its action to grab this thing.
Hell
and
yeah.
keep it in place. So it did 16 damage. The obsidian golem has 15 resistance, so 1 damage got through, which is all you needed. If it hits, it's knocked prone. So I need to give it a bunch of stuff here real quick. So it is grabbed and prone. And its armor is broken, so it has to take a -2 to AC. Let me find it. That's the big one. That one's going to help a lot. Come on. AC. -2. That's going to help a ton. It doesn't bleed, so it can't take that. So yeah, that's the end of the Smilodon's turn. So you still have 2 actions.
Perfect. I'm gonna go and attack it again with my sword.
Great. So go ahead and roll those 2 attacks for your flurry. That was almost an 8, and it jumped over to a 16. That was great. Okay, so that's the first one's a hit. Roll the second. Okay, so roll the damage on it, but hold shift and count it as a crit, so it'll overcome the resistance. There you go. All right, see, so 12 of that damage managed to get through as you shoot your arrow right up into it. It's looking pretty bad, pretty beat up. So you still have 1 action left.
And with that, I think I'm gonna try to use one of the elemental arrows and just take a fire at it.
Okay. So you know you'll probably miss.
Yeah, probably.
All right,
Ooh.
critical miss. All right.
Just flaming arrow went.
So, Scarab. So Reese, just roll me 2 reflex saves back to back as these 2 scarabs are attacking you, just to save time. 25 is your DC.
I'll be fine.
Critical. Yeah.
My
you've
reflex
dealt
DC is 25.
You've dealt with scarab beetles before. This is nothing new to you. You're fine. So at the top of the round, the sand begins pouring in even faster as all of you are in difficult terrain. Con, you're in greater difficult terrain. So your movement is at quarter speed now. The rest of you are at half. However, this is a good round for this to happen. Give me perception checks, everyone.
Perceptions.
In the tower.
My special.
What happens?
Zavid, you're the one who hears it. From directly above you, you hear
We are here. We got you, Khan.
You look up, and your massive friend, they who walk through worlds, with Wisp on their back, appears on the roof and climbs across the roof, shooting a web down at Khan, pulling her up and throwing her to the top of the Pharaoh.
Holy shit.
We have come.
This isn't what I wanted at all!
Khan, your turn.
Khan is like angry to
Is it
describe
in
the
Aklo that it was talking?
It was at Aklo, yeah.
Oh, so
Khan,
I
you don't know what
understood
happened.
everything.
Uh-huh. They think
Khan
they're
is-
So
succeeding
we're
you.
like, oh, cool, help is here, and Khan, you just hear, and then you're like wrapped up in webs, like, no!
It's okay, they're here to help!
Yeah, that's exactly what just happened. But that was your
Khan
turn, Khan.
is like, once it's made clear that Khan isn't gonna be like eaten by a giant spider, she starts like bitching and complaining to mask the fact that she is so afraid right now.
Amazing. But yeah, your turn, Khan.
I guess I still need to get down there. I don't suppose you could just throw me back like a
well,
fish.
Actually, technically speaking, they do still have another action. You could hop on, and I'll let them use their last action to move you down there.
Yay!
Perfect. So
Yes, we can. Jump on. We will get you.
Jump
So-
on, they can get you!
So
I think
let me
Khan's the
grab
only one that
both.
doesn't know Aklo.
And I
Yeah.
think here's what's gonna happen. As you jump on, using the same web they used to crawl down the hole, they're going to Tarzan swing across here the whole way, and I will let you take as many attacks as you want, speed style, as you swing to here.
Hell yeah!
How's that sound?
That sounds amazing.
So you'll end here at the bottom, but you can have your as many attacks as you want.
Yeah, I'm going to not target they who walk through worlds. I'm gonna target the obsidian golem.
There you go. That's a hit. Nice. I didn't think that was gonna hit.
Is it flat-footed still?
It is, yeah.
And grabbed.
And grabbed, yes. Okay, so 14 damage. It's pretty close.
Try this again. Big money, no whammies.
Ooh.
Ah, that's a
Ooh.
whammy.
That's a whammy. And you have one more action. If
I'm
What
gonna
was it?
hero point
you're gonna
it.
hero
I'm
point
gonna
that
hero
second
point
one, okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
it. No, not the damage. That's being presumptive. All right. Big money, no whammies.
That was even
Oh, well.
worse. All right, try your third action.
I can't think of anything else to do. I guess I can tell my rats to bite it.
That's true. Okay, they can do that. Force it to take a reflex save. Oh, there we go. Holy shit, it got a nat 1.
Oh.
So it's gonna take double damage from the rats. Let's go. Let's
My
go.
preciouses, attack!
Swarming bites. So 8d6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This might actually maybe get through its resistances. Hold up. 20, 25. And it hasn't. Your rats perfectly hit the number. They did 25 damage. It has 15 resistance. It has 10 hit points. How do you want to do this between you swinging on the back of they and the rats?
Oh my god.
It was on the nose.
I want to like sever a panel from this thing, enough to like, you know, so that the rats could get into the interworkings of this thing.
So, like,
And they just
Scorpion
kinda-
King?
Ah.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know that reference either.
Okay.
So they tears a panel
Wait,
off, and the rats
You guys
jump in.
never saw the Scorpion King?
I've seen the mummies.
Did you know that there was a Scorpion King movie that came out around the same time
I've
as
seen the
Mummy 2?
VFX breakdown, and it's horrible. I've never seen the whole movie though.
My reference is the rats go into it like scarab beetles would go into it.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, the rats go in and they start like dismantling it from the inside out.
Actually, that's perfect. as they do that, from within its chest cavity, you see a massive black stone fall out into the stone in front of you, and it begins to sink into the sand. And I'm just going to remove the golem from the map. There. But this huge, like spherical black ore with some type of symbol on it starts to sink into the sand. And as the golem crumbles and falls apart, these scarabs do begin to scatter, all of them running away from all of you in every different direction. We're out of combat, except for those whirlwinds are still there. So you're going to need to be careful of those, but essentially if you just don't walk into them, they aren't going to be a problem.
Okay.
So we're out of combat. Well done. That was ridiculous.
So since the tiger is technically was grabbing it and holding onto it, does the tiger just have a bunch of rats and this thing in its paws at this point? Is it just like
it's
holding
holding
them?
on to wreckage. It can let go at any point, but yeah, it's got its teeth sunk into wreckage.
Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Alright, I know what I would like to do.
What's that?
Kabiri gives me a special spell. Did you know that? He gives me 3 spells.
I didn't know that.
He gives me jump, which I've used to great effect. And then the 3rd level spell he gives me is paralyze, like a ghoul. The 2nd level one that I've never really had an opportunity to use until maybe just now is expeditious excavation. So we have a lot of sand over the hand that we need to put the orb in. If I heighten it to 6th level, I can excavate a 15-foot cube of earth. Any sort of loose dirt, dust, gravel, sand, or the like, up to a size of 15-foot cube. I can just move the earth. So,
that's super cool. I love that.
Yeah, I would like to burn a 6th level slot for that if that's cool.
That's incredible. No, I love that. Absolutely love that. I don't have a way to only cut out just up there, so I'm just going to add I'm just going to go to that one, let's say.
Okay.
So there's less sand. I don't have a way to just cut out a layer.
And it looks like I gotta burn a 7th level for this, so I'm just gonna do that.
Hey, it works for me. I love when you burn high level shit. But Khan, they who walks through worlds will bring you back down once the sand has subsided, and they give you a calming, even though you don't know what that means.
They said,
It was a very
"Here you
unaggressive.
go."
Thank you. And Khan tries very hard to, tell her heart to stop hammering.
Yeah, you're a little freaked out by everything that just happened, because especially since you don't speak Aklo, that was an experience.
Yeah. Once I bump my intelligence up, then I can learn one more language. Then I will learn Aklo, so I won't be so afraid of the big spider.
I still love that I just randomly chose Aklo, and it's been so freaking useful.
Mm-hmm. While you're all kind of gathering yourself, they will look to you, Zavid, and Aklo say,
I will show Wisp how to get rid of these little annoyances.
and walks over to one of the whirlwinds and stamps it really hard with their leg and gets rid of it. And
Oh, nice.
I'm going to let them just go around and get rid of these.
I'll tell them in Aklo, if you find any stray scarabs, have a free meal.
Scarabs. Delicious treat. Have not had in many a year.
Very crunchy. I'm gonna try to move. Can I move the Ankh symbol to the hands?
Yeah, you'll need to cast Ant Hall. It's about as big as it looks, and it's made of solid stone. I'll say
Ant
yes
Hall.
if you cast the spell, yes.
Yeah. And I oh wow! And I the size of it makes it sort of awkward, so I kind of put it up on my back and just like an ant, haul it up.
Image of it here. It is a shiny black stone made of obsidian, just like the golem, and has a large ankh carved into it, the winged scarab and an ever-looking eye, a couple of skulls. But as you climb up there, I can move the
Yeah, I
image.
think I'd have to go up the stairs, and then once I get here, roll it down into the
Sure.
hands.
Yeah. and it does sit neatly. I'm going to get rid of a little of the sand just because I like having it look a little neater. And you know what? There. I like this one better anyway. So, as you roll it into the hands, where should I put that? There it is. It hums with a dull energy as you're carrying it up there. And you roll it down into Osiris's hands, and the Ankh releases some of the magic stored within. A translucent image appears before you. A strong, beautiful elf woman, clad head to toe in ancient royal Osiriani battle armor, stands proudly before you. In her hands, she holds a war scythe, as long as she is tall. Her colors appear to dance and shimmer in the light. Her bright red eyes meet yours, Zavid. She opens her mouth and speaks a guttural dialect of unintelligible Osiriani.
They do, Lord Chuck.
And yes, you may either Lord Desert or whatever. Yeah, Lord Desert would be perfect.
Tower or...
Tower, yes. Okay. This is older than even the tongue Ma'at speaks. This person, it's like the difference between ye old English and old English. You know, old English is still technically English, but to a modern English speaker, it's unintelligible. Even to someone who speaks ye old, hear ye English, old English is unintelligible.
Sophie,
This
do you
woman
have that
appears to
language
speak
thing?
old, like even by ancient Assyriani standards, old.
I do not have it prepared because admittedly I thought you were our Rosetta Stone for this.
Ooh.
So that means I might need to pull something out of my ass. Let me look at my inventory real quick and just see if we have anything. What the fuck is Blessing of the God King? Oh.
That is your aggressive nat 20.
Yes, I can force a reroll at a important time.
Interesting. Here's a thought. I'll let you burn that because Ma'at knows comprehend languages as a not prepared spell. If you want to use her blessing to cast this one time for comprehend languages, I'll let you do that.
Oh, would I be able to work it up to a tongue so that I
Sure.
could speak it?
Sure.
Does this thing look intelligent, like it's communicating to me?
It does. It looked you in
Okay,
the
yeah.
eyes, and it is spoken to you in a language that not even Reese can understand.
So before I do anything, I'm gonna look at Anyanka Jenkins and like, do you have tongues prepared?
Let me check.
Let me just make
forgot
sure
what was
so I
standing
don't
here.
have to burn anything.
That's right. Let me look. Bianca, what do you have? Oh, she has 4th level comprehend language prepared. You and can target up to 10 creatures, and target can also speak the language. Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah,
like I said earlier, you brought the right NPC.
Yeah, let's not burn your God King and use her.
So, yep, perfect. So, Anyanka will say, "Oh, I think I can deal with this." And she walks over on top of the Hoffman and begins to cast a spell, and frost appears at the tips of her fingers, and it swirls out in a snowy little wind whispers and wisps, and they go into this shade, and they lift off her like a fog, and swiftly these filaments of frost go into each of your ears, and you blink a moment, and she cocks her head and says, "Greetings, warriors. I am Amanda, battle priest of Horus. What name should I put to your power?" Looking to you, Zavid.
I am Zavid. What was my title for Osirian?
That's a great question. I have it. You are Grand Vizier Umbromancer Zavid, Sand Sage of Assyrian, and Voice of the God King. I'll put it in.
I want to try saying that.
UZ means Umbromancer Zavid. I put it in Zoom chat.
I am Grand Zavir. Fuck. Shit. Immediately I mess it up. I mean to say I am Grand Vizier Zavid. Tongue-tied. Sand Sage of Osirian and Voice of the God King, whom I'm not sure I meant, but Here is very cool dude. With me are my companions and equals, and I gesture to whoever's closest to me. I think it's either Khan or Anyanka or whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it would be Khan on Anyanka, and Anyanka will bow and say,
I am Anyanka of the North. Pleased to meet you.
and then she,
A Zayek warrior.
and she bows to Khan.
I'll bow in return. And I am Con the Bloody.
A fitting title. And this one
Oh, you're
looks
too
like
much.
a local land.
And looks at Reese.
You look like you're from the local lands.
Yes, I am, he just kind of like tries not to roll his eyes as he's looking at her. I'm, Prince, Reese, Guiltleaf. Pleasure.
Your Majesty. And she kind of bows a little not curtly, but respectfully. And she looks to you each and says,
Well then, now that the pleasantries are out of the way, I suppose that you are not here for tea.
No, you are correct. We're not here for tea. May we ask who we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Of course. I am Amanda, battle priest of Horus. I was at the last battle of the First War during the imprisonment of the rough beast. I am witness to his imprisonment. My memory was bound to this place for a future time, for when the key would finally show itself. Has this time come?
The time has.
This is bad tidings indeed. Come, we must speak.
and she kind of gestures all of you to that things can be a little calm. You can sit and discuss. I guess I can put her on the map, but she's gonna be huge for the second I put her on there, so warning.
Oh no, a big
Giant lady?
Giant lady.
Big lady?
Big lady coming
Big
there.
lady, oh
Yeah,
no.
big
What are
lady.
we going
Big
to
lady.
do?
Big lady. There we go. So she is like essentially a hologram. You know, in your characters don't know that word, but for out of character, she's essentially a hologram.
So, it would seem that the calendar has run its course. The key has shown itself in your world.
Taz, we know most of the. I suppose you could say we know of the important elements, but not how all of these puzzle pieces fit together.
Well, I suppose I could tell you the things I saw.
This
During
would be helpful.
the great fighting, the wars, the armies on each side, deep within the fields to the continent to the east, the blood flowed like rivers. Asmodeus himself, the king of hell, is the one who closed the prison on the rough beast. It was forged by Abadar and Torek, but Asmodeus is the one who closed it. Now, you may think that the key, you are missing the key, yes?
The
Yes.
key is. Is it the same key to lock the prison as it is to open it?
It is.
Then
However,
we have the bloodline, all but the oldest of the children.
yes, well, I think it is important for you to know that the key is not a physical key. The key is knowing how the lock works. The key is the knowledge of the lock's workings. When Asmodeus closed the lock behind the rough beast, I saw a great ritual was performed by,
Let's see, I have it here.
Asmodean cardinals worked alongside the archmages of Nethys, dreamweavers of Desna, to remove the knowledge from the mind of the king of hell. This information, it was formed into a glorious, brilliant sphere of lilac-colored energy.
Excuse me?
Yes?
How common is lilac for energy? What kind of energy is that?
I suppose it would be transmutation generally, but the key was beautiful. It was pulled out of the head of Asmodeus, and it formed a ball in the sky. Then, well, they took that, and Asmodeus gave the orb to his lieutenant, Yoazrael, the untarnished angel. And with that, she waves her hand, and another image appears in front of you of a beautiful angel of fiery wings, a woman in battle armor with glowing red eyes, amidst a wheat field, and a long sword in her hand, each hand carrying a short sword. And Amanda says, "She and her war bishops absconded with the key. They are the ones who put it forward to the end of the calendar."
It might be coincidence, but, I remember what color my boyfriend's eyes are, and I remember what color my former lover's eyes are. I'm just gonna make an educated guess that the tornado on the turtle or whatnot of Danny's and Mythenar's sister probably also has lilac eyes. If that gene is that strong.
Yes, well, remember they have relatives, yes, we met their grandmother, I think. And she did not have the same eyes, did she? Did she? Out again?
No.
She had the same hair, like you could tell they were
She's
related.
just an elf.
Yeah.
Actually, give me society checks in the tower.
Society checks in the tower. Society checks in the tower.
You remember very vividly the wedding day, or the coronation day, because you thought it was strange that the grandmother does not share the same eyes that Danny and Eredril did. They were the only two you knew at the time, was Danny and Eredril. But no, she's just a beautiful blonde elf woman. That's really as far as the resemblance goes. And now that you're thinking about it, you realize that, well, it makes sense because Danny's father was a human, but she is a full elf. So if they even are related, it would be somewhat distantly. But you recall that the only thing they look alike is that they're elves and blonde. Their eyes look nothing alike.
It is indeed odd.
I think that... So it's not that the elves traveled through time. The orb must have some connection to them. I believe it must have disappeared and has entered the sort of bloodline of all of these siblings. May I ask, Amanda?
Yes.
What you know of the fate of this orb? Did the orb... It came out of the head of Asmodeus, so it can go back into another creature, do you think? Is that a possibility?
A fair assumption that one could absorb the key again.
If it was split up amongst multiple mortal beings, would you need all of those mortal beings or just one to access the key?
It was said that the key, well, when it was, a guardian was sent with the key. One of my type, one of my people.
And you realize that she says that she is an elf.
One was sent forward with the key as a guardian. She was an archmage of Nethys, the god of magic. She was... What came of the key after that, I do not know. But it was sent forward as far as we know how in our calendar of reckoning.
So, Vita, I want you to give me an Arcana check in the tower. Just Arcana.
Good.
I know you're not super good at that, but
I
it's
know,
the
I know.
most appropriate.
Shane is just racking his brain trying to figure out like, what the hell does any of this mean?
Oh,
You remember something, Zaviv, at the coronation, because the coronation just came up. You're thinking about it. And you remember when you first met Queen... I'm going to pull up the picture of her. Queen Talandia. There she is. Beautiful, blonde. Queen Talandia Adasaril. When you first met her at the coronation, you were immediately suspicious because you're always immediately suspicious. And you sort of did the things like, oh, my shoe's untied, excuse me. And you got down to the ground and you cast Detect Magic all secret-like on her.
Oh,
and I made you roll a will save and you almost passed out because of how powerful she is. You remember being shocked by just how powerful of a wizard this woman was. Even though before you cast Detect Magic, she didn't exude it at all.
So, I tell the name to Amanda.
Was the guardian's name Talandia Edasiril?
Was? How do you know this name?
Well, your future is our past. The date to which the key had been sent here was what
115 years ago.
115 years ago. I believe this queen, she is a queen of the elven peoples now. I believe she must have hidden the key within the bloodline of an existing elf lineage. I don't know if she's actually by blood related to any of Danny or her siblings. I think that Danny's mother is her mother, but I think she must have put this into Danny's mother, and Danny's mother spread this out to her children. That's my headcanon.
That makes as much sense as anything I know. As you say, if you are truly from my future, you will know much more than I.
I'm only guessing. I'll look at Reese. I'll say, you knew Danny from when she was young. What do you think? Do you think that this is maybe how that went down?
Danny talked about her mother very well. Father, obviously not so much, so possible. And also, just from out of character, would Reese know?
Excuse me. You would know that Danny was very young when her mother died. Her mother died in the accident. Well, not accident, but when... Okay, so rewinding. The mother went on a pilgrimage because she was a Saren Ray priestess. She went on her pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis. During that pilgrimage, they by a bunch of bands, different cult band members, like Rovagug cult and a Lamashtu cult, Urgathoa cult. One of which had Ilkana was in part of the Urgathoa one, and they stole Eredril. And the Lamashtu people stole... let's see which ones. Yeah, the Lamashtans are the ones that stole Mythanar, yeah. And the Nyarlathotep cult members are the ones that swiped away Saranulia. So, and the mother died in that ensuing battle. Demirius was actually also there, but he was 18, had no training, there was nothing he was
a
could do.
squire, he wasn't
He was a squire, yeah. He's had a century of guilt over it as well, but Demirius was there. But Danny was, I think, 2 when that happened. So she has she was between 2 and 5. She has very minimal memory of her mother, but she remembers she was beautiful, she would sing to her, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Reese just like, it could be possible because when Danny's mother died really young, there's nothing negative really about her, so could fit the bill.
Reese,
Yeah?
do you trust Talandia Edasir? Do you think that she meant to hide the key from those looking to steal it away?
Fully, yes. Because what other way to hide them rather than within a bloodline? Who would be able to find a key?
I cast Mork's Condescendent, and I target Talandia Edasaril. I'm gonna put her on speakerphone.
As you do so, all you hear is static.
Oh, come on. She blocked my number. Damn it. Well, she's probably got her phone on airplane mode, which is non-detection, essentially, preventing any sort of divination. That's my guess, is that she doesn't want people trying to scry on her and stuff.
Roll me a religion check in the tower.
Yeah, let's roll that religion check. Oh, shit. Or I just had a dark thought. No! No!
What's your
You have a
thought?
hero point?
It's not her. She's gone.
That's incorrect.
It's an imposter.
You rolled high enough. I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay.
In the sending spell, which is what Mork's Cunning Sending is based completely off of, the range is planetary.
Meaning only on this on Galarian, I can't call the moon from with
That's
this.
right. That's right. The range is planetary.
I'm
Your
mad.
princess is on another planet.
We have to go to space.
Where? I look to Amanda and I like,
You've been extremely helpful. We know of Talandia Desiree. She was at the coronation of her granddaughter's queendom, but I have just tried to use a sending spell to contact her, and I am getting static, meaning she must not be on Galarian. Do you have an idea, based on what you remember, what you might know of her or the people that were responsible for this, pulling this out of Asmodeus's head and hiding it, where she might have gone?
Yes, actually, potentially. Let me see. I want to get the correct word. What are they called? Yes. Our people tell of stories from long in our past of the Ayudara, or Elf Gates. And it is said that long in our past, we elves come from, and she points up and says, the green one, Castrovel. Potentially, she took an Ayudara to Castrovel.
Castroden?
Castrovel the Green.
Oh, Castrovale. Okay. That's not in alignment yet, is it?
It is not. At least I don't think. Let me double check.
Is she trying to blow up the planet so that there's nothing to align? Because that'd be really funny.
That is radical, like fucking cool.
Castrovel
All
is
she has
not.
to do is blow up like one or two, and then that would fuck everything up, I feel like.
That would be
Like
rad. You don't
Akaton
know.
the Red. If you destroyed Akaton the Red, like that alone might be enough. Just because, oh, people are like chomping at the bit to kill each other, like maybe then people will cooperate and we can get through this alive, you know?
But to answer your question, Castrovel is not in alignment. There's a couple between now and then. Like 3, I think.
So we would need interplanetary travel to reach there to even check. This is all right. We need to start training our kobolds to be like a little NASA and send out probes to the planets and stuff, and then send back the information of what they have. Because like, this is ridiculous. I'm upset right now. What about scrying? Would out of game does scrying go planar?
Let's
Like,
check.
could I? Yeah.
Scrying, 6th level. Range, planetary.
How am I supposed to talk with someone from fucking another planet? How would we even do that? Tell me I have to
planet.
physically travel to
Let's
another
see.
place to talk to them? I don't like that.
Let's see. Sending. You can't upcast sending. Let's see. Interplanetary communication spell. Let's see if that can. Interstellar Void? That's a spell? What is that?
Just destroy everything.
That's not helpful. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will get a We'll work out something to maybe upcast your sending.
I
figure something out.
actually, you know what though? if this has to be rules as written, I'm okay with that. We don't need to.
All right. Yeah, I can't find anything. I can't find anything direct. So
I feel like we might need teleportation magic, some sort of like gate type spell to go there easily. We are not high enough level for that, but we could be at some point. That might be something we have to bookmark for later.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in that for now. But that's a question that we're going to need to answer: is what is going on with this supposed grandmother who looks nothing like her granddaughter?
Yep.
And by nothing, I mean just not similar enough that you would guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both blonde elves, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And with how much was going on at the coronation, it really didn't. None of you really picked up on it.
Reese would have no freaking like inkling whatsoever anyway. It's like I'm sneaking in.
Amanda,
Yes.
is your spirit bound to this memory orb, or are you communing to us from Pharasma's boneyard? Or I guess, what's their name? Nethys?
Nephthys.
Nephthys' boneyard.
I am using the Ankh of memory as a conduit from Nephthys' boneyard, yes. I am not bound here. I am bound to the stone. The hands
So
of
you-
Osiris activate my power.
Do you have a time limit for how long you can speak with us?
Not that I am aware.
I do not wish to waste any of your time, but we are the only group actively trying to figure out how to subvert the forces of evil that want to release Robogag. And we might need a little help from someone who experienced this firsthand to help us formulate the best strategy.
Of course, I would be proud to stand against the Devourer once more.
The last of the what's her last name? Arendelle?
The queen? Adastra.
Or Danny's last name. What's her
Arion.
Arion. The last of the line of Arion that we seek is our friend Danny's oldest sibling, or sister. The first of whom that might have received this lilac gift, the key. They are hidden away in an eternal sandstone, but Octurne the Stranger has recently started to go into alignment, which means that sandstone will no longer protect them. She will be vulnerable to the forces that wish to use her gift.
See,
Once we have secured her and the rest of these siblings, what do we do? Can we remove their knowledge of the key so they are no longer targets? Can we do something with this this key that could keep it out of the hands of those that wish to use it for ill?
this I do not know. I am a simple warrior and not a mage. I do not know exactly how it was the lilac orb was put into their eyes. From what I saw, it was information. How does one put code information into blood?
Perhaps it's magical, right? An enchantment that just has certain parameters. And maybe if Talandia is truly as wise and powerful as she seems, she might have split it up so you only have pieces of a message and not the whole message. So you would need all of the siblings.
That would be wise.
Spell their
Give me a
magic
medicine
into an
check in
item.
your tower.
What was that, Elliot?
Yeah, what was that?
Dispel their magic into an item.
Zavid, you remembered something weird all of a sudden.
I'm always remembering weird shit.
You had that book that you got from the Cogito Machinist, the one that upped your medicine, from Dr. Garwinkle. It's all about connecting negatronic capacitors and rewiring people's nervous systems, and it's all about weird biology. And you just remember this one weird blurb about looking at blood not through a telescope, but through a microscope. And most of it you thought was the babblings of a lunatic. But there was one little part that is suddenly popping out at you. Where Dr. Garwinkle was talking about how there could be a code inside of blood to differentiate individuals from one another. If only they could figure out how to read the inside of blood. They called it, you know that she was a gnome, and they were looking for the gyroscopic readouts of the blood, and she called it something along the lines of the G-gnome.
Ooh.
Damn it.
I'm about to leave this call.
Please don't.
You're
It'll disrupt the-
incorrigible.
It'll disrupt the stream.
I won't do that.
I'll burn the stream down. You've got to face consequences one of these days.
Yeah.
I will speak this aloud to everyone here. I say, the doctor from that Cassandra Lee cult, he was studying blood and on a microscopic level what makes up the blood. Very advanced medicinal stuff. And that perhaps you could unlock the coding of what makes, for example, me different from Reese, or Reese different from Khan, and so on. He called it something. I'm not going to say it here. It doesn't matter. But I will say that if you could use that to hide information without destroying who a person is, I mean, maybe the only marker that would be left on them would be their lilac eyes.
So genetically, she infused it into them somehow.
Well, I didn't use the word genetic or genome or anything like that.
No, I know, but you know, like just the study of family and stuff like that. So you know.
Let's just call it the blood science. That's better. I
Okay.
like blood science.
Let's
I want
go
to take this away from that fucking gnome. They don't deserve this
You know what? That's
discovery.
valid. Let's
That is valid.
let's retake it.
We take it back. We're gonna rename it, publish it in our own book. That's better. It has
Thaumaturgy.
pictures. Yeah. And then I'm like,
All right. I think the smart move would then be to split up the message. I think that actually keeping it separate might be the best move. But that also means that we should probably not keep all of the siblings together in one place. Unless we have all the might of the world's best magicians and clerics and those who wish to subvert this disaster protecting them. Otherwise, what these cults mean to do, I think, is to tap into the blood of each of the siblings and put the puzzle pieces together. Do we know? Oh, sorry.
What's the out of character? What's the thing that Danny can do that's like really fucking weird?
A lot of things.
Okay, you know how like, well, because of the transmutation thing that like, Mythanar can turn into a fucking giant. That kind of thing.
Danny is every time she sings, magic happens. She's literally like a Disney princess.
Okay,
Like,
I don't
like
know
if she
the
starts
other-
singing in the wood, like if she walks into the woods and does this and goes la 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 la, a bird will land on her hand.
Okay, so Reese just goes, now that I think about it, Mythanar turns into a giant. Danny can sing to a bird and have it fall in our hand. I don't know what the more damaged brother can do. I don't know what the sister can do, but I think put all those things together, they're
he's
a weapon.
literally turned into a demon man, the brother, if I recall. He's like got devil powers or something.
He also acts as a conduit where if you cast a spell into him, he can become the source of the spell and it upcasts.
All of them together make an ultimate power. Some transmutive animal calling demon motherfucker.
some singing giant monstrosity. No,
Yes!
say it isn't so.
Yeah, and whatever the hell the sister can do, yeah, have all those pieces together, you make like 5 lions, they turn into a giant robot.
So,
Do we know out of game if they've already accessed the not the people that were just that had do we know if those who are trying to awaken Robogug got access to all of the siblings' blood so far?
You do not know that for sure. You know 100% that they have Aerodrill's blood. Like, Ilkana had his blood for a century. Like, 100%. Danny,
He doesn't even really need to be protected anymore because they already got it.
they
right?
have more than they've ever needed. Danny, probably not. She was in a tower for a century, but, she's been out for about a year, so... maybe.
She's
We've
got
been around
Demirius
them.
with her, though.
Mhm.
I would love to
Unlikely.
see the champion of Saren Ray drop the ball on that one, especially his guilt-ridden fucking it up earlier when he was a squire. Like, he ain't gonna fuck it up this time.
And
then-
Reese would know within tower time if anything would have happened, because Danny would have been like, "Oh my god, this weird thing just came in and like sucked my blood," and that's how it would
Danny
have
would
down.
always Danny was always telling Reese when a weird leaf would blow into the tower. Like, if something that dramatic had happened, you would know.
Yeah.
Mythonar spent his time in the Orc lands. He got the crap beat out of him a lot. He went to war. He spilled a lot of blood. You're not sure if anyone has able to gather that blood, but it's safe to say he's lost a lot of blood, so the chances are decent for him.
least 2 out
And
of 4,
Sarah
maybe.
Nulia, you know nothing about.
she's been hidden.
Yeah, her and Danny were both hidden for a long time. I wonder if that was long enough. So we need to get to Ceranulia just because once the sandstorms go down, we might not be the only ones trying to seize the opportunity to get her. You know what I mean? So like we need to be there to help protect her. Even if she might be fine. She might have like some of the most powerful whatevers helping her out. But I think having more on her side can't be bad, We just need to be able to gain her trust really fast. Like, we need to be able to let her know we're not a threat, but there are threats after her. And I say this all as Zabid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be wise to find the key, or I suppose this part of the key, as quickly as you can.
Then I guess we don't have too much more, time to spend doing other things.
No dillying or dallying.
I suppose it would be prudent. Amanda, is there a way that we might be able to contact you once more upon leaving this place?
I believe I can assist with this.
And she closes her eyes, takes her scythe, pounds it into the ground, and a shockwave emanates from it, and the Ankh of memory itself shrinks down in size significantly to about the size of an 8-ball, and you would be able to pick it up.
It's a magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
I hold this and
The weight of the stone was part of the challenge.
I look to Amanda and I say,
To use it, would I need to expend any of my magic, or is it magical in itself?
It is magical in itself. Just think of it and I shall appear.
Your wisdom will be forever useful. Though, we are using the magic of tongues to communicate. Would you happen to know or be able to speak in the current common tongue?
I should be able to absorb it if you speak it around my orb long enough.
Oh, we will. Might learn some Aklo too.
Ah, the language of the shadows. Always wanted to study that. Took a semester in school.
I take the orb. I think I want to do I have? I must, yeah. I think I want to do something to secure it to my person so that it just doesn't loosely roll out. But if there's a way I could do a triple, quadruple banded cord or something to secure it.
Sure.
Like
to like my
cabinet
belt
to
or
you.
something. Yeah, with like some sort of like leather like strip or something to just, and tie it at all these different points just to kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
almost a little net thing that you could put it in.
Not a problem at all. I'm making an item for you right now. Anka memory. And then give you the
If I need to
shade.
make a crafting check, I will.
Cool. Now, for now, you're able to get something rigged up easily enough. You're a master at crafting, are you not?
I am.
Yeah, that's easy enough. I won't make you roll to secure an 8-ball. So I've put that in there. It's called the Ankh of Memories. This it should be. Maybe I didn't drop it. Ankh of Memory. There it is. Yeah, it's in your inventory now. There you go. So with that, unless you have more to ask Amanda, she would fade into the stone.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you need to ask from her?
I look at Khan, I look at Reese.
Very well. You may call on me whenever you need. The memory of the battle is why I was put in this stone. For all the things that I have seen. Good day to you, saviors.
And the shade of Amanda fades from your view.
Well, that sure was something.
Was.
That. Yeah. I would fall in love with the most powerful, weird, important person in the world. One of
The
them.
universe, it sounds like.
Yeah. No pressure. Fine. I'm best friends with the other one. Love it.
Should we get back to the Windseeker?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I could use some fresh air.
I could use some fresh air and some sleep and maybe some food, and I need. He's kind of
Very
frazzled.
well. So with that, without much issue at this point, Khan on top of your devil rats, Reese on top of your Smilodon, Zavid with Rottrot, and Anyanka on top of the Hoffren, with they who walk through worlds and have with Wisp on their back. All of you are able to make your way back to the Windseeker. Let me drop everybody on here. This is going to take me just a moment. But share it. There we go. You can close out of the tomb map because we are done down there for the moment. Yamka, the Hoffren, Zavid, Trot. So many icons at this point. It's ridiculous.
Look, you gave us these
Reese
friends.
is fine. I did. It's my fault. So there you go. All of you should be now on that map. Is it loaded for you?
Yep.
Great. You can see that Madame Guillotine is down on the ground collecting debris. Adelina is leaning upside down on one of the orbs on the back, while Gunnar is holding her up with a rope. And the goblins that you met recently are actually up on the deck of the Windseeker. I think this is a good time for an intermission. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, let's
Perfect.
do it.
Great. So let's take a quick 10-ish, 15-minute intermission, and we'll be back shortly.
Bye.
Hey, welcome back. We are back from our intermission, where last we left off, Lux Et Umbra had been down within the reliquary of ancient whispers, and had, after a daring battle against an obsidian golem, had found quite a lot of information about the key to Rovagug's prison. Key to which was Reese's memory that Mythanar and Danny's eyes are the same color as the key when it was originally in its ball of energy. But with their new friend, the Shade of Amanda, who was a witness to the original battle, in tow, Lux Et Umbra has made their way back to the Windseeker, the airship that belonged to the Windseekers, the group of adventurers of Reese's sister Adelina, Gunnar Gunnarsson, and Anyanka Jenkins. But as you get back to the Windseeker, you can see that Adelina is hanging upside down underneath one of the orbs that holds the Windseeker aloft. Gunnar is holding her in place with a rope as she is fixing something with a wrench. Scrap Apple is on one of the other orbs. You see that all of the goblins are here as well. Scrap Apple is on a different orb, wrenching something into place. Sadie and Taffy are on the deck of the ship. They appear to be going through the items that they found in the pyramid below, and you just basically, and you see that there's Madame Guillotine and Shorty on the ground, picking up trash, moving things out of the way, that kind of such. But finally, Gunnar sees you guys and says, "Oh, hey, Zavid, and Reese, come. Where have you been? You found anything new?"
Oh, a lot, actually, yes.
Oh, well, let's get up into the main part of the ship and let's hear all about it, eh?
Says
Yeah,
Adelina as she hoists herself up.
Same old cosmic revelations, fighting for our lives,
Well, sounds like another Sunday to me. And they manage to hoist themselves up onto the main deck of the ship.
Before we get up there, I want to pull Reese and Con aside.
Before we say it, I just want us to be very wary. I might be paranoid. I am paranoid, straight up, but we have a lot of guests on this ship, people we have not known for very long. I don't know we trust necessarily all the information. Just
At least
not to accuse. Not to accuse any one of them. They also don't know each other that well. I mean, some pairs of them have known each other, but they all sort of grouped together for this adventure. Some of them seem to be hired. There's really no telling who might be undercover. I just think going forward, we need to be very careful about who we let know the things we know.
That's more than okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any food? I call out to the ship.
And yes, you hear Sulid and Saeed and Wulid call out, "Yes, of course, I've got a big pot of coffee cooking, and Wulid has a leg of lamb roasting. Come on up, don't be shy." And you get up, and you see, once you get to the top of the deck, there is a small campfire in like a little sectioned off stone section, and they are indeed cooking quite a bit of like a whole lamb essentially on a spit, and there's a big pot of boiling coffee ready for you as well.
Hop off, trot. And see if we can get together a meeting with Anyanka's shipmates Adelina and Gunnar.
No,
just kinda-
private room.
Yeah, what is they're called, the Windseekers? Like
Windseekers, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's like their
Windseeker
Lux
thing.
Et Umbra.
Let's have a Windseeker Lux Et Umbra meeting, and wherever your private chambers are, I guess.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah, that'd be down at the bottom of the ship. Here, I'll show you the way. And as we're walking down, some other thing is gonna place us in the bottom of the ship. Give me
And
just a
before they
moment.
leave, Reese is just gonna take a pocket full of rock candy and toss it at Scrapapple. Like, hey, it's for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I haven't had this in a while.
All right, this
Trent's
will keep
starting to
him
gnaw on
occupied.
And they start sharing and passing them around all of the goblins.
As they're doing that, I think I'm gonna call the wisp as we're going down and say, "Have you and the world eater? Is that they call themselves?
They who walk through worlds.
Walks the world.
Have yourself a big walk. Keep an eye on all of these goblins. Make sure that none of them try to spy on the woods. But be
Yes.
discreet.
Of course. Can phase into the mast.
Wow. And Wisp goes up and disappears from sight into the mast.
And with that, I feel like there's enough precautions. I think we're good now.
Okay. So you're walking down into the belly of the ship, and it's quite a ways, and as you do, you realize just how many cannons this thing has. The ship is armed to the teeth. It's clear that they weren't taken down by another ship. Only that sandstorm could have taken this thing down.
Powerful sandstorm.
Hey, well, it's a lot weaker now than the day we came in.
It didn't help that our navigation was going all crazy. My compass was spinning around, and Yonka's calculations kept being wrong.
My maths are never wrong. It had to have been the planet. It couldn't have been my math.
I did not get that gene. Number 1.
But they bring you down to the it's the private chamber, the captain's chamber. This is Adelina's bedroom. Reese, you actually spot a small stuffed rabbit on a shelf that you know was yours from a childhood. A brief flash of recognition pops in your brain as you see it.
Yeah, Reese just goes over, is like, hey, I recognize you. And he just, like, grabs it and holds it to him.
Oh, I guess it didn't really move out of the airship when they crashed. I didn't think it would be, worth taking. I didn't want to lose it, so we left it here. And we were in such a rush.
I appreciate it.
Of course, yours to keep, obviously.
Put it
So-
next to the fox.
And Adelina closes the door behind all of you.
What was it you wanted to speak to us about?
Well, I'm in love with one of the most dangerous men in the world. Well, elf. And I'm best friends with one of the most dangerous, elves in the world.
Sounds like the slut apple doesn't fall too far from the slut tree there, eh, Adelina? Adelina goes beet red.
Yeah, It's one of those things, I suppose. Anyway, they have similar eyes, right? Because, families do that. And, he points at his eyes, points at, Adelina's eyes.
Similar.
Yeah, like, hers are a little bit darker. But, simple enough. Their eyes are magic, holding keys. And we made a
They're-
new friend.
Their eyes hold magic? What do you mean by that?
Oh, it's a lot more complicated than that, Gunnar. Zavid was saying it has something to do with that blood science.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is, you can hide complex messages, codes, any sort of information you want in the blood of living creatures. Though doing so might have unintentional effects on their genetics, which is to say that they might exhibit some interesting traits, in this case lilac-colored eyes, and not, say, blue or some other color.
I see, that's quite strange. Lilac-colored eyes, I've never heard of such a thing.
They're beautiful.
Our friends from the Arion dynasty. They are elves or half-elves that have these lilac-colored eyes, but they get them neither from their mother nor their father. These eyes are a product of a gift, you could say, bestowed upon them, hiding within their blood. A 4-part key once put together, would allow one to release the rough beast.
But that sounds pretty dangerous.
It is, which is why we want you not to worry our goblin companions about our back, especially considering we do not know whether they are who they say they are. We just met them recently. Not saying that they aren't trustworthy. Maybe they're fine, but I just want to be careful.
Hey,
With all three of you, you literally all died trying to get a wish to do something very good. I doubt any of you have a horse in this race. Would probably want the world not to be destroyed, I imagine, if you were using your wish to protect your mother, right? So,
well, I like this world. It's just got a
Yes.
lot of wrongs that need righted.
so I imagine with everything that's happened with you three, we can trust you with this information. We don't think that you would try and release Rovica because you would undo everything that you just worked for, right?
Mhm.
Also, where would the Windseekers go in a world with nothing, right?
And the rough beast is gonna eat more than just the physical plane, right? He'll
Yeah.
eat
Oh.
like hell and
Material.
heaven and
Yes, it is
Valhalla.
bad.
Oh yeah, Valhalla is just
It
a,
all
like
goes.
a crispy treat.
It's all
Then-
gone.
I cannot stand. I have to stand against anything that would harm Valhalla.
So here's the thing. We know that each of the children are necessary to put the code back together. Danny is likely her blood has not been taken. She has been protected for 100 years. My only concern would be Archibald might have done something, but he's so stupid. He was such an idiot. Archibus, excuse me. I don't believe he would have. We looked through his tower. We would know if we found blood samples and shit. We would have seen that.
Yeah, you would have found that. You found
So
a lot
I-
of shit in his tower, but almost all of it was involved with summoning devils, trapping them with dimensional anchor, forcing them to sign lopsided contracts, and then banishing them.
Yeah.
He was forcing contracts out of devils.
He was gaining all his power by fucking over the hells, and
Mhm.
Asmodeus was the one that fucking helped close the door on. So I know for a fact that this guy was not smart enough to do that because he was fucking over Asmodeus, which is not a good idea. So I'm like, I don't think she was in any danger during that time, and Reese definitely would have heard if something weird had happened.
Yeah, no, Danny
After-
tells me like everything.
After the fact, I don't recall a moment when anybody had captured her and took her blood, aside from, again, when that stupid idiot captured her again and put her back in the tower. But at that point, it was the same people, so I don't think during that time she ever had her blood taken. So she's someone we need to have protected, and Demiris is with her, her pets are with her. She seems like she might be in a good position right now.
Have you
As
contacted
for
her?
Mythanar, sorry, what was that?
Have you contacted her with that weird spell thing you've got?
We have, but we haven't had an update yet. We might today try that, but first, I want to go through each of the Mythanar, maybe.
Yeah, he's scrapped up quite a bit over his years. He was kind of kept as like a pet for these orcs. So, like,
Was he disguised though wasn't he wearing some sort of weird disguise or mask or something during
No,
this time, or was
He just wears kind of orcish clothing.
yeah.
Yeah, he was very out in the open. And you remember the very, very first whisper you ever heard was that there was just stories of an orcish warlord keeping a golden elf as princeling as a pet. Gold was his hair.
I think it's possible. There are many opportunities over the last 100 years for them to have taken his blood. So we can't count that they don't have that. We need to assume the worst and assume that they do have that, but still protect him just on the case that they don't. They definitely have the other brother. I forgot his name.
Eredril.
Eredril. They have his. It was the Elkanas group, the White Mother. You probably don't know her, but anyway, she was bad news. They've had his blood for a long time. He actually does not need protection physically because it's a guarantee they have his blood. The last one, we don't know if they have, and we're pretty sure they might not because she's been hidden for so long. Has to be Surinil?
Saranulia.
Saranulia.
Give me a religion check in the tower.
All right. Religion in the tower.
Yeah, that's enough. You realize as you're speaking this that her name is the elvish form of Sarenrae. It's like naming your daughter Maria, if you're Catholic. Like naming your son Jesus. Her name is
I see.
Saranulia. They named her after Sarenrae.
That's interesting. I just realized it's an elvish form of Sarah. Well, she's been hidden. I believe she's fine, but we have no guarantee. We have to find her, make sure she's all right, talk with her, and make sure that if there are any entities that had an opportunity to get her blood, that we take them down before they have an opportunity to use it or decode what's in it. If it's recent, if it's been like 30 years or something, we gotta just assume it's a lost cause. That's where we're at. At worst, they have 3 of the 4 siblings and all they need is Danny, in which case we're kind of wasting our time, but we don't know that for sure. We need to be sure that we can, if her blood has not been taken, it doesn't get taken. That's where we're at.
I think that's true. The security of all 4 of them is of the utmost priority, especially as you said, Danny and this Saranulia.
Danny's the most high profile, but we have Demarius with her, so she should be fine. Martha and I are staying within range as far as the last time I called him, and... Well, we already know one's out, so we just really have to find Saranulia.
I also know that Danny has contact with the druids, and if something goes wrong, they have a vested interest in making sure her blood does not get into the wrong hands. They will take action if they have to.
Yeah.
And I trust them. They're very powerful.
Oh yeah, they are.
Khan, you're the bloody one. What do you think about this wacky blood stuff? I don't know if my brain can handle it. You're a lot smarter than me. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, my practice mostly involves the purifying of blood and not necessarily, closer inspection. But, undoubtedly it's important. I don't see why it couldn't be made into a medium for magic, a medium for even information.
It's almost like it's a parchment and a quill. That boggles the mind.
I'm just very thankful of all of the different gods across the spectrum of different faiths who had worked together to bind Rovagog. It is only a minority, a very small minority of gods that wish to break him free. So we need to be... We need not underestimate this enemy, but we have a lot of divinity on our side that want us to succeed. We have to not be afraid to rely on their help. And I think in that endeavor, I don't know if any of you are religious. I know Gunnar, you are, but...
Yes, I am a follower. I've got it here, actually. Where is he? Oh my god, I have so many NPCs. I'm a follower of the god Njord. He's, he Vikings all around the coast, and he is the lord of, one of the lords of Valhalla. I'm a champion, I'm a liberator of Njord, not champion.
I believe that you are a living steward for his will, because even if you're not like a champion, right? The souls in Valhalla, from what I understand, are probably chomping at the bit to fight in a interplanar war against something like Rovagog. One last shot at glory, one last job.
There's nothing that would bring more glory to the spirits in Valhalla quite like taking out the rough beast.
But I think ultimately, more so than the thrill of battle, I think they desire more than anything the victory that comes with it. And you are one of, I don't know how many. Gunnar, do you have like a peoples that are all like of the same mind as you, or are you sort of aberrant? Because you're like a pirate, sort of.
My village doesn't really like the worship of Njord anymore. He's a bit more violent than old school, you know. I come from a whaling village up north in the land of the Linorm kings. But my tribe didn't really like my interpretations and my way of attempting to get my Linorm title. It kind of exiled me. So I tried making my living as a whaler, and that was where I found Adelina and Reese, clinging onto a barrel out in that freezing ocean.
Dang, we all had a hard life, huh? Except for this one, I point to Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gunnar, I think I recall a song of the Wellerman that you used to sing. It was very good.
I did. I used to sing that when you were fussy and wouldn't go to sleep. It's one of the few I knew in your language.
It's fun. So, yeah, no. Adelina, did you follow anything eventually? I found the kitty cat god.
Yes, she is. Let me see here. I want to get it right. Where is it? Gunnar, Eli, Anyanka. Hold on. Adelina, there she is. She is. Oh, a Kav. Yes, all right.
I was a worshipper of a Kavna, but unfortunately she is a dead god at this point, so I wouldn't be able to get any powers out of her, like your friend David here. But it's still nice to give a hey ho to the dead ones. You got to show respect to the ones that have passed, even the dead gods.
Out of game. Would I know that if a god died, that their name would be remembered? Like, can
Their
you
name
know?
would be remembered. It's just their clerics can't gain power from them anymore. All clerics of the Kavna would have lost power.
I see.
Yeah, their names aren't forgotten unless someone goes out of their way to make that happen.
I see.
Yeah.
In other cosmologies, that's how it works. Like when you've lost all your worshippers, a god dies, they everyone forgets who that god even was.
That's kind of cool.
Deal was.
I like that, but I'm gonna say no. That you can remember because people remember Aradin, right? He died, but people remember him. But his clerics lost all their powers.
The
give me a brief religion checks in the tower. Hearing her talking about a Kavna.
Sure. Kavna.
All three of you, please.
All right.
Oddly. No, I know why. As they're all having this conversation, you're being kind of quiet, and Pipette kind of leans down next to you, in your cloak, paws kind of gated like this, looking out a little bored, and she says,
A Kavna. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. That god attempted to save Galarian from Earthfall. Got hit with the meteor. Fell down dead up into the Ironbound Archipelago. I feasted upon its corpse. That is how I underwent apotheosis.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
You rolled a big old nat 20 there, Con. And it would make sense if Pipette would just tell you that.
You guys might want to hear this.
What?
I hold up Pipette.
I have a picture. Let me find her.
That's like mini armed rat. Their bottom half is drooping down.
Drooping out. I love
Yeah.
when rats do the little droopy butt thing. Like, it's just like, you're so cute.
Whoa, Pipette be upon ye.
There she is. I forgot what I named her, but I need to rename this image. It's just called Rat Familiar, but your albino, white-furred, pink-eyed, six-legged rat familiar that you pull out of your cloak. And she hangs down like a long cat, and she says,
I am aware of a Kavna. I am Lao Shu Po. When in life I was just a simple rat. I saw a Kavna fall to the ground. Feasted upon her flesh, because I am a rat. But I did not know that her divine flesh would give me divinity as well. This is the site of my transference. At the Mordant Spire.
and Adelina says,
Yes, the Morden Spire. That's where Ma was a listener. Always staring up at that damn thing up at this pointed at this always pointing at the moon.
Wait, Pipette.
Yes?
You just said that you are La Choupeau? Does that mean La Choupeau, the goddess, grandmother rat, is speaking through you? You're like a vessel for this goddess right now?
Essentially, a conduit. It is how I am able to give Con her powers.
I give Pipette a little bow, like I had no idea I was in the presence of divinity.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to stay low key. One of my domains is stealth and secret keeping.
I said, well, then you achieved apotheosis from just devouring the flesh of this dead god the moment that they died. You were the first one on the scene, it seems.
I was. It was indescribable. Delicious.
Did you lose your ability to swim?
I actually got better at it because I have 6 limbs.
And she kind of wiggles her, like it's like when you hold a little puppy up in the air and they don't know they aren't swimming and they try to dog paddle in the air. She's kind of doing that with her 6 legs because Con's holding her up.
Yeah. I was sorry, I was making a cheeky reference to One Piece at the
I
Devil Fruits.
get
The
it.
first one to bite in
Completely
gets a power, but they lose their
Their
ability to swim.
I swoosh right over the
I
head.
got you. I knew what you were putting down.
It's alright. I do think the similarities there is really funny. If a god dies, that's basically Devil Fruit. Get there fast and take a bite, because nobody else is going to be able to get that
It's
divinity
weird.
unless you
It's
try.
okay. This side of the stream knows about One Piece. That side of the stream doesn't.
It's weird how often I seem to reference One Piece without having ever seen a single episode.
It's happened at
I mean,
least
the
twice.
ideas are good.
Oda just knows good themes.
Yeah. I stand up from, I think I was sitting on like a footrest or something near the bed. I go, well, we, I think, are sort of in agreement then on our next move is to find at all costs the sister,
We have to
Serendulia.
not find her to find her.
I guess that's true. So if we had it, I guess we just gotta go somewhere, and we need to lose our heading. We need to lose ourselves. I don't know if we should go on our own or if we should use the Windseeker. That's kind of up to the crew of the Windseeker, I think.
What if we clash it again and then
Yeah, I don't
it's
want
like
to
all
do
this
that.
never happened.
Well, I hope we don't crash the Windseeker, but we could very easily get you off of this mountain and drop you off somewhere, get you good and lost.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a fantastic idea. I love getting lost.
I think that sounds pretty good to me. There isn't much left to fix. It's just got to get the last couple of the levitation orbs done, and we should be good to go. Those goblins, oh, that's right. We went back down to the pyramid and found them goblins. We invited them up for some food, and they offered to help us with a few repairs. They got a lot done while you all were looking around the island.
Isn't Scrap Apple just like the best though? Like,
He's just aware of this little creature, but I'll tell you, it knows how to build things out of scrap.
Yeah, he's great. Love it.
I know that we want to contact Danny, but I want to do something first.
Sure.
As I look at Anyanka and I ask Anyanka, I say, I saw you got really, your bones got battered today in battle.
Oh, I got beat to hell, didn't I?
Almost.
I think I want to ask somebody something because I've had this idea for a while, and I feel like it could be a really good way to bolster yourself and make you feel a little bit more like your old self, if that makes sense.
Oh?
I would like to call our undead dwarven friend in those spires that got eaten by ooze, but then had a symbiotic relationship with the ooze.
Oh.
Yes.
Forgot her name.
Belinus Tuthgort.
Yeah.
Belinus Tuffgort.
And remember, we've kind of decided canonically that your speakerphone kind of comes up with a little hologram image of the person. So you
Hell
do
yeah.
see the gelatinous ooze with the dwarf skeleton inside who's waving hello.
Hello? Is that Zavid?
It is indeed, Zavid.
Hey there.
Hi. So you'll never believe this, but we met another undead dwarf. Now I know not all dwarves know each other. That's not where I'm going with this, but she does not have an ooze friend to help her, and I was just thinking about something. You have this symbiotic relationship with your ooze. Is that correct?
I'd say so, yeah. It was a bit of a pain in the ass at first, but I got used to it. I can control it whenever I want. It just takes a little out of me.
I would like. This is gonna seem weird, but I have a really radical idea, and I'm wondering if it works for you, Anyanka, if you'd like me to try this on your behalf as well. I would like to help you recreate your body using the ooze as the sort of muscle and flesh. It's called a gelatin. And I'm gonna send something to you, Lumpy. That I did not invent this. I did not. I need to be clear. This is something from the Griffin saddlebag. Like they created like a race called the gelatin, and the idea is that
I love it.
a gelatinous cube or something eats like a person or skeleton, and the necromantic magic animates the dead, and they fuse into a symbiotic being. And they look like a person, but you can see their like skeleton beneath their like new body. And it's super cool. And I've always wanted to like do something with this. And I rediscovered that I'm like, we know two people that we could do this for. And I think because I met Belinus, that's the only reason why I think Zabid would come up with this idea. Because that was already a precedent that you had set with her.
I did.
And I'm like, with his power, maybe we could like bolster them both, and that would allow her like, Belinus could like walk around and leave that place, and do like have her autonomy back, and like, likewise, Anyanka would have not vulnerability to bludgeoning or whatever the heck she has with all this like damage she's been taking. She'd have a body again.
And both of them kind of look to each other, and they look to you, and they say,
I think that would be the best of both worlds, don't you there, Belinus? If I'd be able to walk around, that would just be haggis.
I know we're trying to save the world. I look at everyone else in the cabin with me. I never try to save the world and everything, and we don't really always have time for all these crazy little side projects of mine. But that's kind of cool, right? And it would be helpful for them.
Cool.
It helps the greater good, and in the long run, look, once when we are all against Rovagag, I'd bet that would be a great asset, unless to try to heal.
also out of character, Shane, you'll have a reason to go back up to that part of Belkson pretty soon, if you remember. Up near Beatalzatrax's place. You'll have a couple of reasons to go back there soon.
Yeah.
Baby.
I know of one, but I forgot maybe the important one that you were thinking.
Yeah, Elliot just said one.
What was it?
I said burn, baby, burn.
Yeah.
The dragon egg. Yeah.
Of course, the dragon. That's what I was thinking, but you said a couple. Then I'm like,
There's a
is the
specific
dragon
one
egg the
you
most
want.
important? Oh, yeah. Okay, of course.
Mhm.
Fogton has
Oh,
some cool shit. I
that!
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you
Oh.
specifically will have a reason to go back to Fogton pretty soon, and that's roughly.
And
Bella's.
Reese will just to see Kirka.
There you go. Yeah.
I think I'm not much with oozecraft, but I know that oozes sort of fall on the purview of alchemical
Stuff, and I looked to Khan, and I'm thinking, I think with the knowledge we got from the fucking Cassandali cult, we might be able to induce an ooze to create a form based on the undead that's residing within it, their self-perception. So, like, how you viewed yourself in life, Anyanka, you've only been undead for, like, not even a few days now.
Actually, she was undead for like several decades. She was just outside of, or she was dead for several decades. She's
That's
only
what
been
I mean.
undead for a couple of days.
She
Gotcha.
died, and then the time stop happened, and then we brought her back, and since that point, she hasn't really been undead that long. She
Right.
probably still thinks of herself as how she used to be. And I'm like, for you, I think that image might be helpful.
Belenis, you've been in the state you've been in for a long time. We might have to help you remember with some illusion magic or something to like get you to remember how you used to look.
It has been difficult to remember. There's a couple of pieces of armor and shields down here that are still a little shiny. At the right time of day, right time of year, I can sometimes see my reflection in it.
I tried to only call with good news, and I hope that this was something that put a smile on you, despite the fact that you are a skeleton.
I can tell you my mandibles are pulling back.
Awesome. We'll be over there in maybe a week's time. We have some stuff we still need to take care of here in Osiri, but
Glad to hear from you. See you soon.
see you soon. Click.
Alright, are we gonna have to group call Danny and Mythanar?
I think so.
Alright, let me get Mythanar first because Danny's gonna take like a long ass time and she's best call him first.
Okay. So you twist your ring, and it pops up, and he's facing the correct direction this time. He says,
Hey there, Reese. What's up? I got it working this time. Look.
Look at you, not just the back of your head. You look handsome.
Oh yeah, thanks. I just got a haircut.
his hair is a little shorter.
Oh yeah, good get that healthy hair. Hey, we got some important stuff we found out, and we're gonna phone in Danny. Zavid's gonna do the whole phone call thingy that I basically do with you, but with his hands. Mine's only direct line to you.
I haven't seen Danny since she and grandmother and Eridril left. Yeah, it'd be great to see her.
Yeah, grandmother.
Hey Con, hey Zavid.
Mythanar's waving at the two of you from
Hello.
his ring.
Alright, do your thing, Zavid.
Oh, God. Well, so here's what we know. Are you alone, by the way?
Yeah, I'm just in my bedroom. What's up?
All right. So this stays between us, but you can pass this on to your sister and Demirius when you know that you are in a secure place.
Sure.
I'm gonna just tell him everything that we know, so I'm gonna go through it a third time.
Sure.
About our ideas about how it's kept in the blood. The lilac eyes. Your grandma might not be your grandma, but she seems like she might be good though, because she's trying to hide this stuff though. She hid it in your bloodline, which is kind of weird. She's on another planet, and you guys, we think Airdrill's blood long gone. We protecting him is more formality more than anything else, but we are pretty sure that his blood is not what they're after anymore because they've had many opportunities to decode it. Your blood being
Possibly?
sort of possibly because you were under the employ of an Orc Lord and your blood has been spilled on the battlefield. There might be have been the opportunity for someone from one of these cults to take part in one of these battles to try and get access to some of your blood, or to sneak into the into Wyvern's thing and just take it while you weren't, privy to that. Maybe you had like a doctor's appointment. They like fucking, who knows? There's a lot of different.
Yeah, but living in the Yorklands, I've dropped a lot of blood. Could be from anywhere.
I don't think that it is 100% guaranteed they have it, but I don't want to underestimate our enemies. I want to believe they are smart and that they did some pretty intelligent moves to try and get your blood. Additionally, you've got your two sisters. Danny, we're pretty sure they don't have her blood, especially with
pretty
Demirius
damn sure from the past.
from the past. And since she left, there have been some moments. I remember. Wait, was I there for that when she got attacked by wolves when she was introduced?
Yes, you were there because you were in the field. No, you weren't there. You
I
were
don't think
introduced
so. I didn't
third.
see that
Only
yet.
Khan
She
saw
was
that.
introduced first, and then right after that, we met me.
It was. I think Demirius got introduced first, then Danny, then you. I think it went in that specific order.
I think from what I've heard, it's possible something could have gotten access to her blood in our adventures, but we have been pretty low key. She had remained hidden even after she escaped. Like, it was still not common knowledge. I don't see how anyone could have known her whereabouts, even if they were aware of her existence at
Up
that
until
point.
about now, but that's different.
More recently, yes, but
Didn't you say that at one point even knowing about her existence was a capital crime?
yeah, I think we could reasonably assume that they did not have access to her, especially early on. Later on, maybe, but we killed everyone that we were enemies with later on. So even if they did somehow swipe some of her blood, we shortly thereafter killed them. So what they could have done with it after they died and we disposed of their bodies. I mean, I think we're safe in assuming they don't have Danny's blood yet, but they're probably after it. As for your sister Ceranulia, that is the big question mark. If they did have all the other three of you, then all they need is hers. They would have already put their things into position and they're just waiting for the conjunction at this point. But we need to make sure that they did not get access to her. And the only way to do that is to wait for Octurne the Stranger to go fully in alignment and let down the guard and verify ourselves. So,
if anyone could have stayed out of the danger, it'd be Sarah. Ceranulia. She was always really smart, big book reader. If anybody could stay hidden, it'd be her.
I trust that. I just think now, if we operate under the assumption that they don't have Danny's blood, but they might have yours, you might have to then take on a protector role. You are not, I would say, you've graduated from someone to be protected to protector, because I think it's safe to assume they might have it after all the time that you've been on the battlefield.
I'm a lot more comfortable being a protector than being someone who has to stay back and get protected. And you can see him kind of like he's a barbarian. You can see kind of that little like the bloodlust for battle is kind of sort of bubbling up a little under the surface.
Yeah, and Reese can tell it is just like there's a blush that just starts crawling up. It's like, yeah, I want to see that.
As for your brother, I don't want to force him to do anything that he is not prepared to do. He is still recovering from the trauma of being kidnapped essentially for hundreds of years and tortured. He needs the rest. I don't want him to feel like he has to do anything. But
should take a vacation, yeah.
If he feels he wants to take part in this, he wants to do something, I think maybe you would be the best person to talk to him and try and clarify to him what the situation is about the whole blood magic shit. Blood science, I mean.
I'll definitely talk to him about it when he gets back.
But for now, let's keep this information very secretive. Do not tell anybody you are not 100% sure you trust. I know that I can trust you because my sending spell or your ring or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, the ring.
It wouldn't work if it wasn't you. So we know that you're you. But when you tell Danny and Demirius, maybe do some sort of preliminary check to make sure it's them, and make sure you're secure. This is the kind of information that could destroy the world if it got out.
Yeah, naturally. And I just realized I didn't share a picture of Mythonar. He's the extremely muscular, very tall, blonde elf prince.
He's posing like that in the
in the hologram.
Oh, he's hot. Anyway,
I'll be happy to take care of him. Well, I'm glad to know you're safe and that you've learned a lot. Jeez.
Yeah. I love impressing my sister over there, with the fact that I'm in love with, one of the most dangerous elves in the world, and, she's pretty cool herself, though. She's a lot like me. You'd like her. Actually, I might want to keep her away from you. He looks over to her.
Well, I don't think I'm not going to try to take your man. I might be a bitch, but I'm not a monster, says Adelina.
That's true. Do it.
Let's see. Mythonar.
So maybe she likes air drill. She's like, oh, I could fix him.
I can fix him.
Adelina is definitely an I can fix him girl. But Mythonar will say, Well, whatever you do, when you find Serenulia, just, tell her all of this gently. She was always just such a, was just a little bookworm, a little nerd. Like, I could pick on her and she was twice my size. Like, she's just be easy on her, okay?
I have a feeling she's not that little bookworm anymore. Having been by herself and
And
having
on
to
a giant
protect herself,
turtle.
I'm afraid that she's probably got magic that outstrips our own and is going to think we're immediately enemies after her blood. That's best case scenario, because that means our enemies didn't get her blood, right? But then we have to convince her that we don't mean her any harm. That's what I'm afraid of.
Is there anything that I could just shout at her that would help stop the wrath of her? Is there anything we should know?
I don't have a lot of memories of her. I was little when everything happened, but you could call her Sari, quite contrary. Me and Eridril used to call her that.
All right, that's what we're
doing.
Uncle Grus.
Unky Grizz.
Grizz. Yeah. Oh, I love that shit. All right, I'm all over it. Sari, au contrary.
Sari, quite
sandstorm
contrary. Sari,
I'm putting it in my
contrary.
fucking notes.
I put it in Discord. Yeah, you can put that in your notes too. That's a good thing to put in your notes.
Sari.
I just came up with that off the top of my head.
Quite contrary.
I was
How
a
does your
secret
garden
garden
grow?
nerd, so I love that so much.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, what rhymes with Serenulia?
Felt safe.
This is. Hopefully, this works. And if not, then we just piss her off. Listen, I say this because I know that the bookworms are always the crazy ones later. Just look at your sister Danny. All right, look what she's so powerful now.
It's really terrifying how much power she's gotten in such a short time.
Yes, and I think your other sister's more of the wizardly variety, and that's even scarier than a bard. But I will tell her that do you apologize? Like, you want her to know that you're sorry for picking on her?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll let her know. We'll pass it along.
I would appreciate that. I was kind of a monster. I think I was only 18 when it all went down. I was just a little guy, but and he wasn't quite that old. It was 7 or 8. I have the numbers somewhere.
In elf years, that's about 7 or 8, though.
I was just making an elf joke. But yeah, I was really little when everything went down, but I would always pick on her alive.
It's fair. I will let her know if we find her, which we will, and I'll let her know that you and all you siblings are safe.
Thanks so much.
If anything on your end that has happened, fill us in.
Anything we need to know about?
Nothing going on here. I was being tight as a drum here in Druma.
Good. Keep the vigilance. Anything could happen at any moment. We know there are cults. Oh, excuse me. There are cults nearby that definitely want your sister's blood.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Bang on that drum.
Don't let them get their blood.
I'll do my best. Stay vigilant. No blood.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as too paranoid. If anyone says, "Oh, you're being paranoid," no, you're not. Be as paranoid as you feel you have to be.
All right. Paranoid.
All right, and then
The fate of the world is literally in your hands and your blood.
Ugh, I don't like that too much.
Yeah, I had a moment there. It was great.
And you said you're going to call Danny as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have to use your thing, or do I have to use the?
Oh, mine's only to Mythanar.
Got it.
To Mythanar.
All right, Mork. I got one more call in me. Let's do this. Roll up my sleeves. Pring, pring. It's like one of those rotary things. Call Danny.
Static.
Ultimarius.
How many of these do I have?
It is a focus spell, and you did it the first one early enough you could have refocused it, so you could have one more before you refocus again.
All right, I'm going to do that then. Demirius.
Static.
Call Mythanar again.
We can say he's still on.
He's still on the
from
phone.
ring.
He's still on the... still on my finger.
Mythanar,
Yeah.
where is your sister right now?
the last time they told me they were leaving to Kyonin, to grandmother's city, the name of which is in the back of my head. And it
Just
is
gotta look through.
I just need to
the
look
old
through my
memory
memory.
banks.
It's the city of Ayadara in east central Kyonin.
They're lying to you.
They have either were tricked by the grandmother or they are lying.
Yeah.
Probably to make it so that if someone else contacted you and was pretending to be us, to then give you you would give them false information, which is actually very smart.
That makes sense.
Yes, they are on another planet. We know the planet they're on, but we'll just, because we don't know if this is a secure line, we won't say.
Sure. Wow, they're on another planet?
When we meet again in person, we'll tell you more.
Oh, okay, that's wild.
Yes,
It's
there's a
never
lot
seen
of
that.
options where they could have gone, so this much we could let you know, but more specific than that we cannot.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Paranoia.
Yes,
Yep.
you can't be too paranoid.
Sometimes birds aren't actually birds, they're spy cams.
All right, well maybe you can be a little too paranoid.
No, but you remember in game that literally happened.
Yeah!
Oh shit, that's right.
Did!
Yeah, you have one in your bag, Zavid.
Yeah!
I
We
pull
killed
it out,
one!
I'm like, what is the world? Is this a simulation?
Birds
Robogug
aren't
is
real.
just the finger pushing the power button. That's all Robogug is.
Amazing.
That's actually an interesting interpretation of that.
All right. My voice is starting to hurt, so I think we're going to let you go, and we'll contact you again soon when we know more.
Yeah, all right. Be careful and, like I said, go easy on Serenuli when you find her.
Will do.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye, Reese.
Bye.
And he fades away.
Making
my
that
hand
ring
is like,
seriously was the best thing I ever fucking thought of. Was it a get? Was it a bit? Yes. Now it's not.
I imagine after using sending so many times, like the amount of magic and belief that has to travel through my arm as it's sore. It's like I've been lifting weights with my arm for like the last 10
You're just
minutes.
like
I'm just
drooped.
that Mork stuff is no joke.
I've never
Like
seen
they
magic
say, oh,
like
you
that
have
before.
You've got to believe in it, of course. But like, I mean, it's hard not to believe in it when it feels so real when it's working. Oh God.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Neither have I, and I'm pretty adept at these kinds of, magics.
I think now we need to get this. We need to get this ship ready to go.
Was there anything else in this area that we were supposed to look at, or did we see everything we wanted to look at in this area?
You saw everything in this area that you wanted to look at
Yeah.
at this
Okay.
point.
We're good then.
So Gunnar is going to say, well, before we get going and fixing up the rest of the ship, I actually have something for you, Zavid. But I need to go get that Madam Guillotine real quick. Just 1 second. And Gunnar, he runs off. That's Reese.
Yeah.
Gunnar is right there. He runs off. And for a moment, y'all are together down there, and he eventually comes back down with that one. With Madame Guillotine, the goblin who is also a rider on a hyena. He comes back in, and Madame Guillotine and Shorty come in, and she says,
Oh, well, what is going on? I did not think I would be privy to any of these private conversations, ne?
well, I just had to say that was a pretty amazing battle we had yesterday, and I was staring Valhalla in the face until you, Zavid, jumped on the back of that scorpion. If it hadn't been for you, that stinger would have hit me right in the chest and sent me to the great mead hall in the sky. And Madame Guillotine, you ran across that field like it was nothing, putting that spear straight through that thing's stinger. I owe you 2 my life. just as I owed my life to Adelina and Yanka and Reese before you. I'm adding you to my life-debt oath. And as he says that, you see tattoos on his arm. 2 more appear. Where there were 3 runes before, he now has 5. And he reaches into his bag and he says, I also have these for you. Madam Guillotine, that spear there is a little rusty. You wield it with skill, but you need something a little better. I took the claw off of that thing, and I attached it to a nice pole here. And he hands her, I have it here, the scorpion clawbird.
Ooh.
Which I also have another picture of Madame Guillotine.
Ah, that is amazing. I cannot wait to sink this into my enemies.
And she stands proud next to Shorty with her clawbird.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so, mechanically, this is unimportant, but mechanically it's like one of those dinosaur mouth things. She can use it to grab people after she attacks. So that's just a bit of fun.
That's cool.
But then he looks to you, Zavid, and he says, you took that stinger square in the chest. And I know I managed to get it out of you just in time so that venom wouldn't stick into you. But you deserve a weapon that is worthy of a warrior's heart. And so, to you, I give you a dagger made from the stinger of that. I call it the Scorponok Blade. It'll take the venom from that scorpion and put it into your enemies. I saw that dinky little dagger you had. You need something worthy of a warrior of your caliber.
That's cool.
And I'm linking the stats in the chat there in FGU, and I'll put it in your inventory. It is a +2. Let's see. +2 greater striking, and then it has Black Scorpion Venom, which is a DC 36. On stage 1, it does 2d12 poison damage and makes them clumsy. Stage 2 is 3d12 poison damage, clumsy 2 and slowed 1, and stage 3 is 4d12 poison, clumsy 4, slowed 2. But I thought that you might be able to use this in battle.
Thank you. It was totally unnecessary. I feel a little pressure now that I have a life debt owed to me.
Yeah,
But-
welcome to the club.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say Gunnar Sundson always pays his debts.
Gunnar's quality gifts.
And
Gift of
I'll,
life, the gift of a Scorpiok blade. Fine.
Whip it to my my little thing. I might have to make my own little scabbard for it.
I have a question about that too. It's operating off my strength, and my strength is not good.
We could make it your dexterity. I'll fix that.
That would make it usable in battle. Yeah, I think the
Hey.
biggest issue with me is that all my stuff operates off strength, so I can't use anything in battle. And I think that was purposeful in Pathfinder. They want him to make strength the fighting stat.
Mhm. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I have
That's
fixed the
pretty good.
stats. It does +22, +18, +14, and the damage is 5d4 +4 piercing magic. And then it's got the extra
Poison effect,
poison.
right?
Poison, yeah.
And this would be fine against, it wouldn't do the poison effect, but it would still do the 5d4 +4 against anything, even if it had immunity to poison, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's piercing damage that it's really doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Right.
That's all I needed to know.
The poison is just extra. But the two of you have definitely deserved. I saw the quality of those two weapons, that spear and that cold iron dagger. I mean, they're pretty low grade, if you ask me. Looking at they're literally low grade cold iron dagger.
Oh, did you say it's a +2 weapon as well?
It is, yes.
Oh, wouldn't that make it 24, and then 20, and then 16?
The 16 is your proficiency for trained, and then your dexterity is 4, so that's 20, and then the item bonus is 2, so yeah, 22.
Well, then, that's weird. Why is the low grade 23, 19, 15?
Oh, I don't know. Why is that?
I just figured if that was a +1.
Oh,
then-
because for some reason it says you're an expert in that one.
Oh.
There.
Wait a minute. Am I an expert?
Yeah, for some reason it's... Oh, are you? I don't know. Let's find out.
Cleric of the cloistered whatever. Like, I think cloistered cleric, I think, is expert in whatever your deity's thing is, which I think is unarmed attacks for... But also maybe, like, daggers? Like, just simple weapons like that?
I could make it be daggers. That'd be fine.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
up
call
to
it
you.
stuff.
Up to you.
Sure, why not?
I don't remember.
Just daggers, nothing else. You're not exactly a melee fighter, and we'll make that big of a difference.
That's
We'll
fair.
say
And
you're an
also, I've
expert
been
with
using a
daggers.
dagger for my stuff more than anything else.
You've been
so-
doing it more and more. Yeah. We'll call it good. So there you go. You're
Thank
an
you.
expert in just daggers. +2 serrated poison scorponoculi.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. I
Uh,
think maybe we should get back to work up with them goblins up top before they break the ship.
Yeah,
Speaking of
they're kind of
which-
still on a sugar high, so that's a good idea.
Madam Gid, where would you like to go now that you are aboard the Windseeker?
I can drop you off anywhere.
The captain would like to know too, so we know where the heading will be.
Well, I know that I.
What accent? French. How does French work?
It is French.
Yes,
It's a French.
French accent. I know that I and Taffy and CD come from up north across the sea and Andorra and Almas, the city of Almas, the capital. So anywhere, if as far north as possible, or at least to somewhere near a coast where we could charter a ship.
Yeah.
I
Reese
look
looks
at,
over to Adelina.
Adelina, yeah.
Is that not too hard?
I think we could do that, yeah. I drop them off somewhere a little north and then go get you three good and lost in the desert, eh?
Yeah, we could probably get some supplies and stuff if we need to.
Perhaps we'll stop at Shimon Sek.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think my art would probably welcome us back.
And
I would hope.
we also need to tell them about the sand elementals. We already messaged somebody
Mhm.
beforehand, but it'd be
Oh,
nice to follow
there.
up on that.
You did tell
the
left,
blacksmith.
right, Cragmore to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
here to the statue. So that's one other loophole. I don't know if you want to do that before you leave.
We should wait. He's on his way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can leave that for maybe next session.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah,
about done.
that's a good idea.
So this is a good place to stop. Next time we'll finish up with Nephrite before y'all leave,
Yes.
and then take off, finish fixing up the Windseeker, and then see about finding Saranulia. Hope everyone will join us because this was quite a lore bomb today. But we hope you'll join us next time. Thanks so much. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye.